All right. Welcome to the Metal Bastards Hangout channel. We are going to do an Anthrax re-ranked here. Well, I've ranked Anthrax before, so it's going to be the first time ranking Anthrax with, a few people, which I got to send them links. Don't mind me, I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. The pains of working third shift, I'm hoping people will join this hangout tonight. So hold on a minute, bear with me. Looks like we have nobody in the chat right now. Man, okay. So. So just bear with me. Hopefully, we get some people in the comment section here tonight. Okay, so what am I doing here? You know what? Let me mute myself quick too. Okay. All right, just give me a few minutes. We'll get the show on. Excuse me. We'll get the show on the road here. Looks like we have one people lingering around here in the chat room. Not sure exactly who's in here. Wait to see if anybody shows up. So yeah, basically what we're gonna do is rank all 11 studio Anthrax studio albums by Anthrax, dude. Oh my god, I need to wake up. And they left whoever the hell it was. Probably a troll. What's going on, Frederick? Hey, Speed King, what's going on? Let's see. Metal Connection's going to be joining me. I'm just waiting for him to show up. Not sure exactly who else is going to join me in ranking the Anthrax albums. I know we had discussed this last weekend, so I don't know. Just bear with me. Okay. Not much. Man, I saw your interview with Pizza Dep. Well, I didn't get to watch it all. Right when I went to lunch, you just ended the stream. I'm like, oh, fuck, I missed it. Because I was getting ready to comment, and fuck, man, the stream ended. I'm like, god damn it. So I was late showing up for it. I am going to go back and watch it, though, so don't worry about that. And I definitely got to get me a copy of that Pizza Death album. What's going on? Water Dive 22 Productions. Yep, it's Anthrax ranking time. I'm just waiting for people to show up here. I'm not exactly sure who's showing up. I know Metal Connection's definitely showing up. Um, Not exactly sure who else. Okay, we got somebody. Okay. I guess we're ready to get the show on the road. All right. What's going
Oh,
on?
cool. Hey, man. Hey, cool. Right on.
All right. So, yes, we're going to be ranking the Anthrax albums. The
That's cool.
11 studio albums.
I see you got the dandy Anthrax wallpaper background here at the top.
Oh, yeah.
At the top.
Yep. Went all out.
That's cool. That's cool. Right on. That's cool. Yeah, that gets me in the zone.
Broke out the Anthrax shirt.
Oh yeah, cool. I don't have any Anthrax shirts.
I think I've had this shirt for 10 years.
I was wearing a Foreigner shirt that I got at a thrift store years ago. I was walking in a thrift store. I'd seen this for a couple bucks. I was like, "Fuck Foreigner."
Oh, hey, man. If you can find cool shirts at drip stores, why not?
It's more or less one of those things. It's like, hey, I know it's an old school shirt for like $1, like $1 or $2. So I was like, you know what, Foreigner's a rock band, sure.
Right.
It's not like it's a $20 or $30 shirt. No, hell no. If had it said even this $4.99, I would have walked away. Just walked away. Or I think it was literally like $1. I think it was $1.99. I was like, okay, I can do $1.99 for.
Oh heck. Hey man. I guess it's better than paying $25 or $30 for a shirt.
I was just thinking about. I see Frederick's in the chat box here, and in the chat box there, in the comment box, and I was like, oh, we should have told Frederick we were doing this. Maybe he would have been prepared for this, but.
Oh yeah. Frederick could have definitely joined us.
Even though he's probably just like, screw all the new albums suck. Just give me the old ones.
Screw all you, mate. The new shit sucks. I can just see that.
But so you've done an Anthrax ranking before?
Yes, I have. I did it back in 20. I'm trying to think when I did it. I think it was back in 2019. Almost 3 years ago, I did it.
Oh wow! And was it on like a video? Was it on the channel?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. It's in the video section somewhere.
I should have. Well, it's probably better off that I didn't go back and watch it, because then I'm not like surprised by your picks or whatever. And well, maybe I'll go back after and to see if they changed. Even though you'll probably let me know if they. Oh, this has changed since then or whatever. But that'll probably come up when you say your picks. But. I generally have fun with rankings in general. I don't take my rankings like to the death serious. Like I take it serious enough because like I know all the music already. I don't need to like study the music per se. Like I'm a fan of the band. I'm a fan of all the albums. So at that point, it's just have fun with it. Like it's not like obviously it's picking your brain a bit. Like, but if it starts to get too serious, I just gotta remember, just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Like. You know what I mean? Like if it's going to start to like upset you or things like that, like okay, take a step back, realize, just have fun with it. Sure, if something's out of place now, I can correct it. It's all just made up. It's just for fun, right? Like it's not like serious or nothing. So I generally have fun with it, but I don't know. I don't know if you wanted to go first or get us started or whatever, but.
All right. Well, I guess I'll let you go first.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got it in full screen, but I'll take it out of full screen just to read comments in case comments come up or whatever. But I own every album except for my least favorite, and that's on purpose. I purposely haven't bought my least favorite because it's my least favorite. I don't know if you have the Anthrax album sitting in front of you, the ones you own or whatever, but my least favorite is Volume 8. And God bless, because I love John Bush, so it's sacrilege that I have to put a John Bush album last. But I've just never really gelled with that album. I have no idea what the fan kind of response to that album. I remember. Actually, I think I came across that Anthrax album, that and Stomp 442, when I was first getting into metal when I was a young teenager way back then, and I wasn't really mature enough to really understand Anthrax. I didn't really like it at the time, but I came across Volume 8 way back when I was a kid, and I didn't like it back then. Now I've revisited the album a few times since, and I still really don't like it a whole lot, but that's where I am with Volume 4. I don't have a whole lot to say about it because I don't own it, but it could change maybe if I own it and I force myself to listen to it over and over and over, but that's where I am with that album right now.
All right. Well, quite interesting, because my number 11 is Volume 8, The Threat is Real also, and I don't own it.
No, yeah.
Now, I used to have it on, I used to have it on cassette years ago. I bought it way back when it came out. Well, I thought the cover looked cool. Of course, at the time I thought, oh, maybe this will be an okay album. And I'm like, I remember buying it back in 98, listening to it, and I'm like, every song on here kind of sounds the same. Like the album really don't go nowhere, and it's like a 65-minute long album. It's a very long album. It just doesn't really
humdrum, slow songs, but yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to think back to the album now. There might be 2 or 3 songs I like on it. Like, I thought, the track they did with Phil Anselmo from Pantera, I thought that was okay. Oh, Killing Box, that's the track. I thought that was all right. Born Again Idiot was okay. That's kind of a thrashy tune. Boy, that's really all I can think of that I actually like on that album. Yeah, just not a great album at all. Kind of just a boring album at the time. But we got Frederick here. What's up, Frederick?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Frederick's going to ruin our strict Anthrax schedule.
That's all right. We already did our last place album.
Sure, if he wants to chime in and tell us how bad Volume 8 is, sure, you're welcome.
Okay, Volume 8, yeah, very bad. Very bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much a grunge album.
Pretty much, yeah.
Very grungy. And
yeah, it was an in-between album. They really weren't sure what was going on. But.
Yeah, it wasn't an album that really put Anthrax in that, sort of direction. I think a lot of people really got disappointed with that album, and they thought, this is where Anthrax is heading now. And a lot of fans probably dropped out and never paid much more attention with Anthrax until the comeback album with Joey.
Yeah, that's a really weird period too, because Volume 8 was on a record label that went bankrupt. I think it was on Ignition Records.
Yes.
And right after the album came out, the label went bankrupt and Anthrax almost broke up. It was a really fucked up period in time for Anthrax, for sure. But all right, I guess we'll move on to our number 10s.
Right, yeah, back to me. So it's a decent album. It sometimes just gets a little lost in kind of, I don't know, whatever you call it. But Stomp 442 would be next. And there is a bunch of, pretty well the whole album is, good and, average, I would say, that good average zone where you kind of put on an album and it's just kind of in that, averagey zone. There's good songs, but it's nothing that's overwhelming. It's nothing that's outstanding and amazing. It's all just kind of in that averagey zone. obviously there is a bunch of great tracks. The opening track is kind of all right. In a Zone's great. American Pompeii, I like American Pompeii. But yeah, it's kind of like in that okay realm. Again, I love John Bush, but I kind of did him a better service later on in my ranking. So yeah, I'm not going to really say a whole lot about Stomp 442. It's kind of in that average realm. It's okay if you want to switch up your Anthrax albums, but it's okay maybe every couple of years or something like that.
And guys, we did not plan this ranking because my number 10 is Stone 442 also. So yeah, pretty much like you said, it's kind of an average album now. I originally bought this back in '95 when it came out. I remember seeing an article for it in Guitar World magazine, of all magazines. I'm like, oh, new Anthrax. I'm going to get it. There was literally no promotion behind this album back then. And it was released on Elektra. You'd think being on Elektra, there'd be some kind of a push because they had Metallica on their label, but there was nothing. So yeah, I bought it on cassette tape back then. I used to listen to it a lot back then. I didn't think it was like a bad album. It hasn't really aged very well with me over time. Like, okay, standout tracks on here would be the opening track, Random Acts of Senseless Violence. King Size is pretty cool. It's got Dimebag Darrell on lead guitar for that track. Oh, I'm just looking here. In a Zone's pretty cool. I do kind of like In a Zone. That's kind of thrashy. I actually think Drop the Ball's a pretty cool heavy tune. The rest of the album, yeah, kind of average. It's basically your standard 90s groove metal album, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much all I got to say about it. Oh, and this would be the first album, too, without Dan Spitz on lead guitars. So, I think they had Paul Crook on this album. And, of course, a guest appearance by Dimebag Darrell, too, on King Size and Riding Shotgun. Overall, yeah, like I said, it's okay. Hasn't aged very well with me, though. That's why it comes in at number 10. All right, Mr. Frederick.
The John Bush era for me, well, I don't have any of those albums in my collection because after when Joey left, it just didn't click with me. You know, I jumped to Shark, and then, but that album that you showed, yeah, I agree. It's would be my number 10 as well. Okay. Yeah, same reason as you guys. Yeah, it's just not a good album. Maybe there's a couple of great songs on there, but the rest of it is just lackluster. You know, I think because Dan Spitz was kicked out, you know, or he left the band because they were going into a different direction. Dan wanted to go, I think, still in the old school way. So yeah, but
pretty much agree.
Yeah, that'd be my number 10 as well.
Alrighty, guess we'll move on to number 9.
I think this is where it's going to get like controversial, if that's the right word. Yeah, because like controversial or up for debate. The rest of my ranking is kind of all over the place. So fair warning on that. So you guys are probably going to like this album. I do like it. Actually, I like every Anthrax album from here. Well, actually, I like Stomp 442. Stomp 442 is listenable, but anyway, we already went there. But anyway, I'm gonna do next State of Euphoria. You know, I don't know. Just something about this album. I know it's thrashy and kind of hoppy and things like that, but I think just some of it gets a little, just like the sound, like in the production that's going on here, like it gets a little redundant. Like just kind of the bass-oriented groove just kind of gets a little redundant for me. It just, I don't know. Obviously, there's great tracks. I like the album, obviously, but the reason I do have it so low, and in case you guys have it higher or whatever, my kind of just reasoning that I can just kind of say is just kind of like that upfront bass riff kind of groove to it just gets a little redundant after a while to me, after the first couple songs and things like that. And there's some great tracks and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of where I am with this.
All right. Welcome, Ryan, to the stream.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Ryan.
Not much, man. We're already up to number 9 as far as our ranking goes.
I don't know.
Fair enough. I'm glad we haven't gotten to number 2 yet, so I can wait a little bit longer.
I don't know. State of Euphoria is a weird one for me, just because I felt like they were influenced by so many things that were going on in metal at the time, like right in '88, like so much was going on, crossover, thrash, the New York hardcore scene, like they were from New York, right? So they would have been going to all these hardcore shows, and like he liked Scott Ian. He liked everything. He liked hardcore, crossover. He liked everything. So it's just a weird mixture, and just I don't know. I just something about I've never fully loved that album as much as some of the other classic ones.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, my number 9 is the 2003 album "We've Come for You All." We've Come for You All. Excuse me there. Again, it's another one that hasn't really aged real well with me over time. And I'm not trying to pick on poor John Bush here. I love John Bush. But, it's got good tracks on here, don't get me wrong. Like, the opening track's killer. What Doesn't Die? Pure thrashy tune. Let's look here. Strapping On's a pretty cool track. Black Dahlia's really good. That has blast beats in it.
Yeah.
Taking the Music Back's a really cool track. I do like that one. Think About an End I enjoy. The title track I enjoy. We've Come for You All. So yeah, I like about half the album. I mean, initially I think I had this one in last place, but it definitely moved up a little since my ranking from 3 years ago, Or it might have been second to last place, So it did move up a little bit. Not terrible, just again, hasn't really aged too well. So that comes in at number 3 for me.
Or number 9.
Number 9, excuse me.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the top 2, which I will probably chime in. But if I were to chime in when it comes to it, yeah, I like John Bush, but it's just that I don't think he fits into Anthrax. If I were to say, he would have fit on the later albums for Anthrax, which I'm sure maybe some of y'all have already gotten to some of the more recent Anthrax albums, but I could have seen him easily fitting on worship music. But that was, but I just think he has more of that power metal vocal approach, the U.S. power metal approach. And at the time, Anthrax weren't of that. So it was like, yeah.
Very true. All right, Frederick.
Okay, my number 9 would be the third album of John Bush era. I can't remember what the title is called.
Oh yeah, We Come for You All.
Yeah, the one you just showed.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that'd be my number 9. It was a comeback, sort of a thrash, bit more thrashier album. It was, they were coming back to that thrash period. And for me, I agree. John Bush for Anthrax was never a good fit, for Anthrax. And I do like him in Armored Saint. I think he fits that band very well. But with an Anthrax, it just wasn't if it was like a Blaze Bailey in Iron Maiden, it just didn't, that style of singing just didn't fit that band at all. So yeah, so that album would be my number 9.
All right. Guess we're up to number 8 now.
And I'm actually much along with what you guys were all showing here. Is We Come for You All is next for me. But I'm a little bit different tune than you guys were saying, where I have a really soft spot for this album. I really love this album. I would have loved to have gotten it higher, but the other Anthrax albums I just really like as well. So it's actually really hard when you do kind of have a soft spot for an album, but you also like the other albums. You just have to rank it and just hash it out and get it done. So this is one of those albums I would have liked to have gotten it higher on my list, but it's just hard to get it higher. So it is where it is right now. I do have a soft spot for this album. There is some more like radio rock-esque kind of hit songs that they could have had with like Safe Home and even Any Place But Here, the songs back to back. So I like most of this album. There's probably a couple skippers here and there, but I generally like most of the album. It is more of a softer album in general, much along with like Volume 8 and Stomp 442. It's not like full on thrash, even like the last couple albums that they came back to kind of that sound. But this is kind of a weird spot, but I do have a soft spot. But anyway, it is sitting here for now.
Alrighty. Number 8 for me. Well, it's the first John Bush album. Sound of White Noise.
Ooh, nice.
Now,
Nice.
I actually do really enjoy this album. Again, it sounds like I'm picking on John Bush here, but I'm really not. I actually really love him as a vocalist, especially in
I
On
thought
the
you were
Same.
going to have that one higher. I thought you were going to have that one higher.
Hey, man. I think it's a good album, though. There's really nothing bad on here. Okay, maybe track 9's a little bad. CHH17N2O2 SNA. Don't really care for that track much. Looking through here. I guess this album probably could have ranked higher, but this is not an exit's kind of weak too, I think. All in all, though, I do enjoy every track on here for the most part. But it still comes in at number 8. I mean, it's still a great album, though. Definitely the best out of the John Bush albums. I mean, if we were ranking the John Bush albums only, it'd be number 1, obviously, but... Anyways, Sound of White Noise is number 8 for me. If Ryan or Frederick want to chime in.
I'm not. Like I said, it's another no comment for me. That's an era of Anthrax. I rarely approach the classic era of Anthrax since I'm just a recent fan for them. So no comment.
Well, for me, I think that was probably John Bush's best debut for Anthrax, because that was the last album Dan Spitz played guitar for the band.
That's true.
And that was a bit more still in the style of their early, still had that thrash element in it, and after that album, as we ranked, they did go sort of into the grunge period for their follow-ups, but I agree that that's probably the best John Bush Anthrax album. So I rank it the same as 8 yet.
It's kind of a weird one because on Sound of White Noise, it almost sounds like a completely different band, but you can still tell it's Anthrax, if that makes sense. Because it's definitely more. Because it's definitely more modern sounding. It definitely has a grunge influence. You can definitely hear an Alice in Chains type of influence on this album. A little bit of Pantera, I guess. But,
definitely an updated sound from Persistence to that.
Yeah.
All right. But I guess I'd be next. And speaking of.
Oh, wait, did Frederick give his number? Yes, I don't think he did.
Yes, he went with Sound of White Noise, I believe.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's your number 7. All right.
So yeah, I believe I just said persistence time. So I think I'm going to go ahead and say it again. And I would have liked to gone higher. Again, I enjoy all these Anthrax albums, so I'm not going to really talk too much dirt about them. Other than Volume 8, I really don't like Volume 8, and the rest I could jam regularly. Stomp 442 maybe not that one, but the rest of the albums I could rotate regularly. But Persistence Time, this album's great. I know some people were turned off because they got a little bit more progressive with some longer songs, as I'd call it.
Oh,
And some people were turned off on that because they kind of just want these 3-4 minute kind of, your 3, 4, 5 minute thrash songs. So when they get to 6-7 minute length, people get a little turned off by that sometimes. But I actually really enjoy that kind of progressiveness. That's longer progressive songs. I can
same here.
I can kind of get into it a little bit more, and it's like then it's straight up thrashing. Like they're straight up thrashing. They're progressing a little bit. So I really like this album. Yeah, I don't know. Even though this came after State of Euphoria, I don't know. I really like this album way more than State of Euphoria. So that's where I am with this album, and it's pretty well. I don't need to skip. I think there's one skipper. Near the end, but other than that, it's like the whole album. It's like you put it on, you jam out. It may appear long if you're like if you're like checking your clock or something, but it really doesn't actually appear that long. Like actually, like every time I listen to it, I enjoy it, and it actually doesn't appear as long as like it shows all the it shows actually how long the tracks are in the back. So there's like 2 7-minute songs back to back, a 7-minute song, a 7-minute song. Like it sounds long, but then when you're actually listening to it, it doesn't. They're not like they don't appear as long as they are. They're not like dragging on. Basically, they're not like slow drag on atmospheric songs. Basically, what I'm trying to say. They're fast, upfront thrash songs with a bit of progression in them to make them longer. But that's where I am with that. So yeah.
All right. My number 7 is State of Euphoria.
Oh, wow, okay.
Man, growing up, I used to play the hell out of this one when I had it on cassette tape. Over time, yeah, there's probably a couple tracks on here that haven't aged very well with me. Being Out of Sight, Out of Mind, I just don't really care for that track. The opening track's killer, obviously, be all end all. 13, that's just a goofy, dumb little track. Don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, I guess I kind of get the vibe. This album was kind of rushed at the time, because even the band said the album never felt finished. You know. Antisocial, I don't ever have to hear again. I'm just sick of that track.
I mean, it's play that live too, and it's like, oh man, they need to give that a rest live too.
It's a cover track, obviously, from Band Trust, but
yeah, they need to give that a rest live. So.
Okay, what else can I say about this album that hasn't been said? Schism, I think, is a really good track. That's an underrated track, and I really like the last track, Finale. That's a really killer thrashy tune. Make Me Laugh's great. Who Cares When's probably my favorite track on here. Just love it. Still a great album. I can see why some may not like it. I mean, it's definitely no Among the Living. That's for sure, but still not bad. And that's my number 7. All right, Frederick, you got.
Okay, this is going to be a controversial album. Probably pick for my number 7, but it would have to be the debut album by Anthrax.
You of all people.
That's a fun. I was not expecting that.
I love this album a lot, but I think it's now it's pretty sort of outdated now in sound wise, and You know,
Wow.
it had some great songs, but you know, like I like this album a lot, but I think this was their sort of non thrash album. It was just more just
More
heavy
speed
metal, more speed metal. You know, like I said, I love this song, but I do not like the cover song that they did on this album. I'm 18. You know,
Wow.
I think they should have, you know, have written an original song and not do a cover. If they did an original cover, an original song, it would have been, you know, a lot better. It's a great album. I love it, you know. But I think there's other albums that, you know, I love a bit more, you know. I love the songs like Metal Thrashing Mad. But that's a great song, you know. Death Rider.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So, there's some slower songs on here as well. You know, like Soldiers of Metal is a bit slower. You know, it's a good album. I think they were trying to get their footing on this album. They were trying to, you know, set what direction they want to go to. So this is an album they were learning, you know, to get their sound. So yeah, Fistful of Metal is number 7 for me.
Ooh.
As I said, it's a great album. The albums that they had after, you know, were much better.
All right.
And it's like
That's
if
good.
anything, put at least put I'm 18 last, so we can skip it. At least put it at the very end, so we can skip it.
I should have done an original song, right? Original song, you know.
Yeah.
Don't do a cover song on your debut album. You know, it's just it doesn't really work. You know, do it later on in your career, like they did with Persistence of Time with the song Time. That's a great cover.
Right.
But I'm 18 by Alice Cooper. Nah, not for a speed metal band. You know, no, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about that. You know.
And Frederick speaks.
Let's see it.
Yeah, apologies for the shitty sound, but that's pretty shocking, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely shocking.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely shocked with that. With Mr. I Love Classic, and then he ends up putting it near the bottom half.
It's not a bad album, you know. Like you guys, I love Anthrax a lot. You know, it's just that song spoils, you know, you know. So
You're right. Yeah, that is kind of like a slight pet peeve when it's like they put a crappy cover song that you don't like in like the middle of the album, or like the top 3 tracks in the middle of the album. It's just like, okay, if you have to do this cover that I don't enjoy, at least put it at the very end, so you at least skip it.
You know, yeah, that was kind of a common thing back in the 80s, too, for thrash bands to put a cover song on an album, which I always thought was kind of weird.
It's fine if it's at the end, or there is the you know, obviously there is the odd good cover song where it is good. It's like, okay, this is good, it's decent, it's listenable, it's fine, right? Or it's good, but, this one in particular just not that great. But next up for me is I really love this album, but yeah, we're still at the bottom half. I don't. You know, I feel bad seeing this is in the bottom half because this is fucking great. This is a great return.
Oh no, that's upsetting me. That upsets me. That fucking upsets me. No.
Anyway, Worship Music's a great album, and yeah, there's fucking bunch of bangers on this album. The opening track. Devil You Know, Fight Until You Can is great. I'm Alive's cool. And then the last track near the end there, The Constant is incredible. Revolution Screams is cool too. But yeah, this is actually pretty awesome, heavy kind of foot stomping, Scott Ian ripping album. Great return of Joey Belladonna. Joey Belladonna's great return, but this is a great return album, and actually this holds up, I think, well now than just as good as it did when it came out. Like when I play this album now, when I spin it frequently, it's a great banger album. You put it on, you really don't need to skip a track or nothing like that.
Okay.
My heart is broken after seeing you have that there, J-Dub.
It's almost like it's in the middle of the pack for me. So again, it's a fucking awesome album. I have nothing.
I fucking love that album. I love it. And seeing you have it there, it pains me.
There's one thing that you guys should know. Joey Belladonna re-recorded this album. They had a different vocalist record this album.
Yeah.
Well, I never heard about that. No.
They kicked the other. They recorded the album. It was all recorded, and then they kicked him out because he done something wrong with the band, and so they got Joey back to re-record the album. So I would have loved to have heard the other vocalist do this album, and hopefully they do reissue that with the other vocalist singing these songs. It would be a good contrast to listen to how he sounded for Anthrax. So yeah.
You know his name or anything, or does this guy ever?
It's a bit like that.
I know who it is.
Because I think he shat on Frank Bello, so they kicked him out.
Wow.
Dan Nelson.
Yes,
Dan Nelson, no.
And he actually don't live very far from me.
Wow.
Well, Ryan, I hate to break your heart, buddy. Even more.
Oh,
My
no.
More some music, too.
How dare you!
But this is not a bad thing. This is not bad where we have it. It's a good album, obviously.
I was going to say it's a really good album. But, man, compared to the 5 that are coming up.
We're getting to the top here, yeah.
Very good album, though. I really enjoyed this when it came out in 2011. I don't think there's a bad track on here, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Joey Belladonna's vocals sound freaking great on here. Honestly, I think he sounds better now than he did in the 80s. So, I mean, fuck. Earth on Hell, holy crap, what a killer opener. The Devil You Know's great.
Yes.
Fight him till you can. I saw them play it live. I saw them play that track live in 2010, a year before the album came out, when I saw them with Megadeth and Slayer.
Nice.
God. In the end, I'm alive. I mean...
Yes, in the end, best song on the album.
Everything on here is good.
Yes.
Production's great.
Shine's really good. If I had to say the best songs on there, The Devil You Know, Fight 'Em Till You Can't, and In the End. Especially if you included that little interlude too in the end. Oh my god. Fucking builds it up perfectly. It's just, I love it. I'll give the spoilers. This is pretty much my number one. Because I've only listened, but to be fair, I've only listened to the recent stuff, but that worship music is fucking fantastic to me. I fucking love it.
Let's see, I was watching an Anthrax ranking video earlier. You all know the Metal Injection channel. I had no freaking clue that Corey Taylor was about to join Anthrax at this time.
Wow.
What?
Yep.
Oh, that would have made me love. That would have made me love worship music even more.
I mean, I kind of remember hearing rumors around that time, but I kind of actually forgot about it over the years.
I never
Until I
heard
watched
about
the
it.
video. Yeah. It's metal with. Oh, metal can. Damn it. It's not metal injection. God, I'm thinking of the
Metal
wrong
Sucks?
YouTube. No. It's a metal YouTube. Hold on a minute. I gotta look up my phone. I gotta look at my phone now.
Uh,
I don't think I'd like that.
No, I
Oh,
don't
the
think
metal
Corey-
the metal meltdown.
wow,
Okay.
Metal Meltdown mentioned it.
Yeah, metal.
Wow.
Yeah, metal meltdown, and yeah, he did an Anthrax ranking like a year ago with that other YouTuber, A Pair of Jeans,
Oh, wow.
and that's how the Corey Taylor thing got brought up in that when they were talking about worship music. I thought,
Wow.
that's because I actually kind of forgot about that.
That's interesting.
So yeah, that's my number 6.
I'd say
With
Scott Ian
Frederick.
definitely
Oh, go ahead.
stepped it up on this album. Scott Ian definitely stepped up his riffs on this album compared to the previous album,
Yes.
Volume 8. He definitely stepped up the heaviness on that album.
Yeah, not to mention Rob Caggiano. Scott and Rob Caggiano's work on that album. Fantastic.
Okay, you better
Great
call an
guitar
ambulance
player.
for Ryan. Okay, you better call an ambulance for Ryan because he's going to have his heart's going to blow out of his chest.
God, what?
This is
Oh,
and yeah, no, this is a great comeback album. Like I said before, Dan, who originally recorded the vocals for this album, which I would have loved to have heard, but bringing back Joey, I think they did this album justice. Like you guys, I agree. Every song on this album are a banger. And this is and this album is getting back into the more darker side of Anthrax. There are no joke songs back, like they did in the 80s. They're getting more serious now. They're getting older. No, they're not talking about.
Yeah, they get the more. Yeah, they're getting into the more about being more about serious with the music and musicianship and all that stuff. It's
There's no I am the man here. There's no rap on this album. There's no I am the man.
It's serious, straight to the point. Thrashy, kind of power metal.
This would be my number 6. A great album, great comeback for Joey. My number 6.
Yeah.
We all had it. We all had it number 6, I think.
Except me.
666.
I'll get to it because I did mention it's number 1. So yeah, I'll get to when we get to our number 1, pretty much. Okay. Top 5.
Okay, so I guess that'd be next. I believe.
Yep.
All right, this one might be controversial, but no, I don't feel bad about putting it number 5. I just like some of the other ones better, but I'm gonna be
spreading.
And for sure, I love the first opening 5 or 6 tracks, and I don't really care too much for the last couple, but in general, it's a great album, superb album. It could be probably your guys' number 2, number 3. So, but it's sitting number 5 for me. And yeah, like the first opening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're talking bangers. We're talking all great songs here. I have nothing bad to say about this. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care too much for Armed and Dangerous. I know they tried to make that like a single, like a hit song. I don't know if it was ever a hit song back in the day, but I don't really care too much for Armed and Dangerous. And then kind of the last couple of tracks, they're okay, they're all right. But definitely those first 5, 6 opening tracks are just super strong, very strong.
Wow.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
Yep.
The
Okay,
Water
so
Dies.
these next.
What? That's probably Water Dies number 1 or 2.
What?
Oh, John's
All right,
joining us. Great.
Okay, my number 5. Holy cripe!
Better not be.
It got a little tough here. Number 5, Persistence of Time.
Ooh.
Man, pains me to put it at number 5. Hey, at least it's in the top 5, I guess. I know a lot of people, it seems like, I don't remember it so much back then, but it seems like in recent years a lot of people complain about this album. I don't know why, besides all the tracks are too long or whatever. I still really enjoy this album. The opening track Time is one of my all-time favorite Anthrax songs. Keep It in the Family is a freaking epic track. Just doomy and heavy. One of Scott Ant's heaviest rips. You got underrated tracks on here like Gridlock, One Man Stands, Discharge. Those songs freaking rule. Hatred's Killer. Yeah, man. I think it's a great album. I don't really think there's nothing bad on here. And I used to listen to this album like crazy back in the day. So I don't really have too much to say about Persistence of Time. It's definitely heavier. It's definitely darker. It's still pretty thrashy, I think. I mean, yeah, I guess the thrash is a little more toned down on here compared to, the first 4 albums. But yeah, definitely heavier, definitely darker, definitely more serious. At the time, too, the band was going through a lot of shit because their studio got burnt down. Why the album turned out the way it turned out. I enjoyed number 5, Persistence of Time. All right.
Okay.
Frederick, I guess you're up next.
Is the same album, Distance of Time. This is the reissue, and it's been remastered, and this sounds absolutely fantastic.
Ooh. I need to get that version.
It's got like bonus tracks where Scott Ian does the vocals on the songs as well. But to be honest, they're not. He's not a good singer.
Not the greatest singer, no.
No, he's not the greatest singer, no. But like these are like songs that are pre-production songs, trying to get the vibe and the sound of the album. But like you said, Ben, this is a dark album. The goofiness has left the building, and I
guess the only goofy thing on there is the cover track got the time.
The time, yeah, but that is a great cover. It's better than I Maintain.
Yeah,
for sure. It's thrashier, and the bass solo by Frank Bello, it's fucking awesome. That bass solo on this album, yeah, it's just a great album. And it's my number 5. Yeah, the songs are long. This is like this would be considered like the Metallica Justice for All album, with the longer songs.
Very true. Yeah,
it could be like in that same sort of category. But yeah, great songs. Belly of the Beast. The track where they sung on Married with Children. It was a great track. There is a cover, but they do I'm a Man on here as well. But this is the illest version. So it's sort of a bit more longer, a bit more, cheesy.
Oh, the bonus material.
Bonus material, yeah. That's a great album. I love.
I definitely gonna get that.
I love Gridlock. I love. He's Red. I love One Man Stands. Discharge is a great song.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. This album is a belter, and it's a classic album for Anthrax. Like I said, the sound did change a little bit because of the burning of their studio. You know, they had to sort of find ways to record this album, go with different studios, and you know. So yeah, that's all I can say about this album. My number 5, Resistance of Time by Anthrax.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting period that I think about it, because a lot of thrash bands at that time were writing longer, more epic, and more progressive style songs. Yeah, they were definitely following what Metallica did on Injustice for All. A lot of those bands, it seems, which is really cool to me. I love those long, epic thrash songs.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we're up to number 4. If nobody else has anything else to say.
I don't necessarily think like the bands are copying Metallica with the longer songs. I think it was just a natural progression because a thrash band, the first couple albums are going to be raw, then next couple albums are going to get that, they're going to sign their deal, then they're going to they get like more money, they get to produce the album they've always wanted to. And then they start playing around, they start progressing a little bit more. So I think it was just a natural progression to a lot of these bands where they started doing the longer songs near the back half of the 80s, right? Some of these bands. Like even Destruction started doing some longer songs, like on Release from Agony started doing a little bit of longer songs on that. Not super progressive, but anyway, that's a whole different discussion on that. But I believe you're going to toss it to me when I before I chimed in on that. But yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Right? It's kind of the sign of the times where a lot of the bands were just doing a natural progression with some more technical, progressive stuff. But anyway, my next one I'm going to show. We're on number 4 here. My number 4. And I could easily have this actually at my number 3. So my next 2 could easily be role reversed. So. I have a number 4. It could easily be number 3. So basically my next 2 are interchangeable. But For All Kings, and this is just a very incredible album actually. And obviously I was familiar with it when it got released, and I've been listening to it consistently since it came out. But I kind of just quickly skimmed through it today, and I was like, "Fuck, this album's incredible! I just cannot deny it." I had a little bit lower, and after I kind of whizzed through it quickly, I was like, "Man, this is better than I'm giving it credit for." But yeah, this album's incredible all the way through. We were talking about great bangers, and they play a lot of these songs live that I think are going to stick in their set list, even like as they release new albums past this. But Monster at the End is great. For Breathing Lightning is great. Evil Twin is awesome. So this Blood Eagle. This is actually an awesome album. This actually really showcases how well Joey Belladonna can work with Anthrax. So like there's a lot of heavy thrashing and heavy stuff, but there's also a lot of melodic stuff mixed in. But it doesn't take away from how awesome and heavy the album is. So I think he's blending his what he can do with the melodic choruses and like the singing aspect, but then also it's thrashy and heavy. So this is a great blend and great mixture album. Great songs. It's heavy, it's thrashy. There's kind of some melodic, catchy choruses, but yeah, great stuff from the band and great stuff from Joey Belladonna. And
That's
all right. I guess my number 4 would be a little controversial. Spreading the Disease. Originally my number 3.
Went down a bit.
Yeah.
wow.
This is still a damn good album. Holy cow, it's too fucking good. That's the problem. Okay. The reason why it comes in at number 3, the one thing I never liked about this album is the production. The production is very, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Roll?
Distorted? Is that the word? No. Okay. My gripe with the album is there's not enough bass on the album. The drums are way too thin on the album. Yeah, there's just not. Yeah, the production never really aged well with me on this album. That's my only gripe, really. But the songs are absolutely killer. AIR, Lone Justice, you know. Got Madhouse, you know. Which Madhouse was the very first video they ever did. You got some underrated stuff on here too, like Aftershock, Medusa. I think Medusa's killer. I love that freaking ripping Medusa. Gung Ho is just a million miles per hour of speed and thrashiness. Great album. But yes, Spreading the Disease comes in at number 4 for me. And the debut of Joey Belladonna, for anybody out there that don't know that, which I'm sure everybody knows that by now. Well, technically, the Armed and Dangerous EP was the debut of Joey Belladonna, but anyways.
Just out of curiosity, did your CD look the same? Do you have like the same? Did your CD look the same?
But yeah, okay. I think I know what I was trying to say about the production of that album. Like, I'd never heard the remastered version of it, but it seems like on the original mix, you really got to turn the volume up to hear it, at least for me. Like, to me, the production's way too quiet on it. And like, there isn't much bass on it, especially with the drums. I think the drums sound very thin, but all in all, great album. That's my number 4. All right, Frederick, or if you're ready.
I'm ready. Yeah, my number 4 is For All Kings.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to tell you the quote, and that's what I'm going to say about this album. Riffing majesty from the thrash metal mavens. That is what I'm going to say about this album.
Oh yeah,
this is a riff-tastic album. It's full of riffs. This is the Digipack still sealed version. I do have the vinyl on picture disc as well. This is from the box set. But yeah, I love this album a lot. You know, it's they're still getting serious. There's no songs, you know, about skateboarding or anything like that. You know, it's still in that sort of dark sort of territory that Anthrax are going into. The more, you know, the more seriousness. You know, I love the songs Evil Twin, Zero Tolerance, you know, Breaking Lightning. You know, just all great songs on this album. This has the some bonus tracks on here, like some live tracks, you know, from their, you know, sort of catalogue, like Caught in the Mosh, you know, ARI, Madhouse, their staple songs that they do.
Cool.
Yeah, so this, it's a great album. You know, they're getting older, but they're getting a lot heavier. You know, to their previous albums. You know, the more older that they get, the more heavier that they get as well. And Joey's vocals are still, you know, top notch. You know, he still does those high pitched screams and that he does for some of the songs. Yeah, so this would be my number 4. Yeah, number 4.
All right, excellent. All right, now we are down to the final 3 here.
This was, it was an interesting number 3 for me. Like I said, with my last one, my number 3 and number 4 could essentially just be interchangeable. Like my number 3 can be my number 4, my number 4 can be my number 3. But I kind of did a little bit of disservice to John Bush by ranking some of the other John Bush albums so low. So I kind of did him some redemption here because I'm a little biased because I really love John Bush. So I had to get one up there. And obviously the best John Bush, we've all kind of made note of that. And I definitely agree on that, is The Sound of White Noise. So my number 3 is Sound of White Noise. And it's just a really awesome, great listen. Like you put it on, it's just a great listen all the way through. There's a bunch of bangers, certain like tracks that you really love more than others, but obviously like Only is incredible. Room for One More is incredible. Invisible and This Is Not an Exit is awesome, and then all the other tracks in between are just kind of great and great listens. But this is just a really kind of consistent great listen for me. And then I love John Bush, so I'm a little bit biased on that, but I had to get one of his albums like really high up there for me. But yeah, it's definitely a nice all-around consistent great listen.
All right. Okay. My number 3 is basically you guys' number 4 for All Kings. This one has really went up with me. Man, I see a lot of people hate on this album, and I just don't get the hate for it. This freaking album is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely thrashier than Worship Him, or Worship Music, excuse me. Thinking of the Samael album there. Yeah, this is definitely thrashier. I think it's heavier, maybe a bit darker. Just a great album, man. The production's amazing. Notably, too, on Worship Music, I forgot to mention this, too. On Worship Music and this album, they're back on Megaforce Records. So, that's kind of interesting, but man.
Also, Nuclear Blast as well. So, the split.
Mine's Nuclear Blast, but.
Oh, you got Nuclear Blast, huh?
No,
mine
Yeah, mine does.
and Megaforce. So it's a split. So
okay, yeah, that would make sense because they are signed with Nuclear Blast in some countries.
Yeah.
Oh man, but this album's absolutely awesome.
Mine just has the Megaforce logo.
Hold on a minute.
Ryan's audio shot.
Something wrong?
Ryan, your audio is all muffled.
Kidding me? Is it better?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
All right. Oh yeah, we're talking about this album.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Ryan?
Yeah, mine has the Megaforce, just the Megaforce record logo. Mine doesn't even have any Nuclear Blast on it.
Yeah, that's how mine is. It's got Megaforce. This album's just absolutely awesome, man. Like I'm saying. I mean, Evil Twin was the first track I heard off of it, and I loved it right away. I'm like, oh, that kind of reminds me of something like around the Persistence of Time era, with the dark atmosphere and the thrashiness. Blood Eagle Wings is killer. Fuck. All of Them Thieves, holy cow, that's a damn good track. Zero Tolerance, easily the thrashiest song they had done in years up to that point. That song's just ripping fast. But Monster in the End, yeah, man, For All Kings, there's nothing bad on here, man. That's why, I mean, it's moved up. For me, it's definitely moved up into 6 years since it came out, so that's my number 3.
I'm surprised we all had it so high. I thought I was.
Don't worry, we'll get to
so high.
Nah, man, I
we're about to get to me anyway, so.
Okay, my turn.
All right,
yep, you're number 3.
Number 3, yeah, number 3. Ooh,
Stadium Euphoria. I love this album. You know, for me, it's goofy, but I love the goofy metal. You know, I think a lot of bands back in the day weren't doing sort of those sort of goofy songs and having comedy and comedy. Every band was serious. You know, like they were dark. They talk about death and this and that. You know, But Anthrax were bringing, the comic book heroes, into their songs, thinking about skateboarding and, just having a really good time. They were young and they were, just having fun. Like there's a song like Antisocial. Again, it's another song that's I don't want to hear it anymore. I think it's been too overplayed, and you keep hearing it. But one of those songs. I like the songs "Misery Loves Company." I think that's a great song. It's a sort of a darker song. They're getting a bit more darker as well on that song.
True.
Who Cares Wins, Be All End All. Right? Every song is a banger on this album. Even the instrumental is great. But Antisocial, yeah, that could have been left off the album. Like with I'm 18, so, but it's there. But, I love the the artwork on the back. I think it's showing the goofiness with the Knot Man, and
oh yeah,
it's a fun album. It's speedy. It's got some good tempos. Yeah, it's a great album. So one of the three. State of Euphoria, Anthrax. So you probably can guess what my next two are going to be. So,
all right. Guess we're up to number 2 now.
So I don't know Frederick's in top 2 because he threw me off with the Fistful of Metal, but I have a good guess of Ben's top 2 because I'm pretty sure it's the exact same top 2 that I have because I haven't seen either of these two from him. But anyway, my next number 2 is, well, I haven't shown Fistful of Metal, so Fistful of Metal, my number 2. And I don't need to say a whole lot on it. It's a classic Anthrax before Joey Belladonna, of course, but this album's awesome. This album's really fun. Frederick was saying it doesn't age well for him. For me, it's still super. Obviously, I wasn't around back then when it came out, but for me, it ages well. For me, it's super fun. It's awesome. It's kind of something you can kind of like, almost like sing and fist pump to, like that kind of stuff, like really fun kind of shit. And the chorus. The chorus is coming up, so you sing along to it and kind of have a good time and. Relive the old school speedy thrashy stuff, and the vocally he's not like the most amazing octave Rob Halford singer, but he kind of just gets her done. He pushes it through, and you find some really unique moments and kind of some screams that you just wouldn't really hear else because he just makes it happen. He just pushes it through and just gets her done. But yeah, really fun album, and I still have it number 2 for me.
Wow. Okay, number 2 for me. What's my number 1 for so many freaking years till I really, really had to think about it and compare it to what number 1 is. And it's weird because I probably listened to this Anthrax album the most. Fistful of Metal comes in at number 2. And it was my number 1 for so many years. Great album, great debut. I think out of the first 4, when it comes to the debut albums from Megadeth, Metallica and Anthrax, it's Slayer. This one definitely gets the most hate. I don't know why I enjoy it. I mean, to me, it's more of a speed metal album. I mean, it's definitely, there's more double bass on this album. Charlie's definitely showcasing that he can play double bass really fucking good and fast. But yeah, man, what more could be said? Okay, so I guess what dropped it down to number 2 is obviously that cover of I'm 18. It didn't have to be on here. Because at the time they did have a couple other tracks that were demoed that could have probably fit on here. Can't think of the names of the tracks off the top of my head right now. You can find them on YouTube though. More, I mean, they still play Metal Thrashing Mad and Death Rider to this day in their live set. I think Panic's a fucking scorcher of a track, really fast. Nothing bad on here at all. It's a great debut album. I mean, yeah, No Turban, probably not as good as Joey Belladonna, but I don't think he's a bad vocalist. But yeah, great album. Great to hear, the beginnings of thrash metal every time I listen to this. All right, Frederick.
Okay.
Hey,
Why-
wait a
I
minute.
have to say number two.
Skipping over me.
Oh, yeah,
now,
yeah,
'cause
you know
I'm-
what? It's Ryan's turn now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you skipped over me for a few
About
times, so now it is my turn. Y'all pretty much have said it. My number 2, For All Kings. I fucking love it. The song y'all mentioned, freaking For All Kings, Breathing Lightning, Blood Eagle Wings, Evil Twin. I thought kind of a weak single, but then hearing the other stuff, Breathing Lightning and Blood Eagle Wings, those songs instantly, because I feel like it's kind. Some of those feel like those 2 songs in particular feel like a continuation of what they were doing on worship music. Like if you put these two songs on there, Breathing Lightning and Blood Eagle Wings, they'd fit right in. They're fucking bang. I am not, and I might piss y'all off, or maybe I might not, but who knows. I am not a big fan of the closer, Zero Tolerance. I've listened to those a few times when I was listening to this regularly, and I did not like it. It just didn't click for me. So I just didn't care for it. But every other song on here are pretty good. It's a good follow up after worship music. Yeah, that's my number 2 out of the 2 albums I've listened to, and the only one I got physically. So.
All right.
Ryan's top 2.
Yeah, because I only listened to 2 albums from them all the way through.
Okay. I guess it's my turn.
Yes,
Well, my number 2 would be Spreading the Disease. Would be my number 2. Again, this is an album that has some great songs. It's not as it's thrashy, but it's not as thrashy as their albums that followed it. It was still a bit more melodic, it's a bit more mellow thrash.
Still has the speed metal too.
It still had that speed metal, but it wasn't as heavy as their later stuff. But it's still a great album. Great songs, and I do love that song. This is Madhouse. That was the first video.
Madhouse, yeah.
I saw of Anthrax on MTV back in the day, and I thought, yeah, this is so funny, it's so hilarious. It's got all these famous, all their friends, and John Zazula was in there, I think. So, and actually, John did write some lyrics for this album. He wrote Medusa, which is a great song as well.
Oh yeah.
That song, Medusa, Gung Ho, Armed and Dangerous. That speed, it's fast, it's speedy. The Enemy, I think, it's a little bit slower. It's not as fast. The Enemy, Lone Justice is a great, headbanging, song. ARI. So every song on this album are great. There's not one bad song on this album.
Great.
So this Unleashed would be my number 2 by this awesome band Anthrax.
It's pretty interesting. Every time they play Gung Ho live, they play it faster live. It's like, holy fuck, it's fast on album. But like when they play it live, they even play it faster. It's like, god damn. Same with Panic. Every once in a while, they'll break out Panic, and they play it like they play it like double the speed when they play it live. It's weird. Anyways, and our number one is.
Well, it's gonna be no
I should
surprise.
share it at this point because y'all have the same number one pretty much.
Yes, it's gonna be no
Attack of the
surprise
Killer Bees.
that nobody's shown this album yet, so it's quite clear this is all our number one. Well, besides Ryan, but this is all of our number one. So it's not giving anything away. It's obviously Among the Living. Oh my God.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look what's out. But the Among the Living here.
All three
So
formats.
we all have this our number one.
I
So.
am surrounded by Among the Living.
And yeah, I don't know. We're all going to be saying stuff on it, but I love. Yeah, obviously this album's incredible, but this is Anthrax right here. Like when you just hear Anthrax in your head, this is what you hear. Like this is Anthrax, what you hear, the sound, everything. But yeah, Among the Living, Caught in the Mosh, I'm the Law, Indians, NFL. Like this is an incredible album. I love Indians, but yeah, I don't know. There's not much more to say about a number one other than you crank it, you play it, and you have a good time with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Classic album. First Anthrax album I ever heard. Way back in, 1988. That's when I first heard Among the Living. When I was only 9 years old, and I was like, holy fuck, this is good. Classic album. What more could be said? Everybody knows it. It's got some of the most iconic riffs in metal. The breakdowns on here are freaking brutal and heavy. So yeah, this is definitely the album too, where you can hear more of that hardcore punk influence coming to Anthrax's sound. Yeah, man, everything on here is good. I used to play the fuck out of this album back in the day. I still listen to it every once in a while to this day. Nothing weak about Among the Living. It's a perfect 10 out of 10 album.
Yeah. I'll let Frederick go.
Okay.
My number one, because you already know my number one.
My number one album.
Oh, so now it's number one. Cheater.
My number one is this album as well. Like you guys have said everything, you know. It's it has that hardcore sound, you know. I'll call it street metal, you know. More, you know, sort of songs about street metal, like skateboard. You know, this is an album that brought a lot of skateboarders, you know.
Are you pulling a zoetrope term? A zoetrope term?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Easily the thrashiest Anthrax album.
Yeah, this was a bit more somber, but this was when they got, this was their breakthrough album, and this is what got them into as the big four.
Oh yeah.
This is was their big four. So yeah, great songs. You know, there's some cheesy songs like "I Am the Law" about Judge Dredd. You know, because they were comic book fans, so they love their comic book. You know, you got nice fucking life, which is a great sort of a hardcore punky track on here. Indians with that breakdown, you know, that mosh breakdown in the middle of the song, you know.
Yep.
The war dance. Great sort of track. And I think a lot of people didn't like that song for some reason. They thought that song didn't fit the album. But I think it fits the album perfectly well.
It's a killer. It's got an awesome breakdown in the middle.
Yeah, Caught in the Mosh.
Dance.
Yeah. Caught in the Mosh, which is, you know, sort of that one of those sort of comical songs, you know, sort of, you know, get into the mosh pit and just.
Oh, that's such a cool track.
You know, the title track, Among the Living, great track. So every track on this album are a banger, you know. So, you know, I think after this album, I think Scott went on and did SOD as well.
Yeah.
He did SOD after this album.
No, SOD was before Among the Living.
Oh, before?
Yep. Yeah, SOD came. Speak English or Die came out in '85.
Okay. So that's where that punk influence came into this album then.
It's a good thing to mention, yes. And
So,
Imitation of Life, the last track, that beginning riff was actually a riff for the original version of Aren't You Hungry, which the track Aren't You Hungry would end up on the first MOD album, which is different. And the original version of, the original version of Aren't You Hungry would be re-recorded for the SOD comeback album Bigger Than the Devil in 1999.
and I also think there was also another track on one of these albums. They did the song Milk, which was on the track of the Bees. I think that was a track of an Anthrax song as well. That SOD borrowed as well. So,
Milk. That's right. Milk did get re-recorded by Anthrax for the Attack of the Killer Bees EP.
Yeah, because I think they sort of borrowed snippets. Scott Ian, put some snippets of Anthrax songs into SOD that were a bit more punky sort of songs. Yep. So they sort of crossed over between each other. SOD and Anthrax were sort of like brothers. They were brothers, really. Like in the thrash scene. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's our Anthrax ranking.
Well, yeah. With me, I'm pretty much said it earlier. My number one, obviously, worship music. That's
Yeah,
that was my everything y'all said about it. The definitive comeback album for the band. I agree with everything y'all said. All the songs on there, freaking The Devil You Know, Fight 'Em Till You Can, In the End, The Giant, Judas Priest, everything. All the songs on it are fantastic. So yeah, that's my number. That is my number one. So I'll keep it short at the very least.
Honorable mention would be Armed and Dangerous, the debut album for Joey Belladonna.
Oh yeah, that EP.
Honorable mention.
album.
So you can't forget little EP, yeah. And
what is some of that? Oh yeah, the track "Raise Hell," which never made an Anthrax album.
Right, see,
"Raise Hell" could have been on Physical Metal.
Yes. I was thinking that as well. I should have been on that album. They probably thought, it was too. What didn't fit.
That's a really weird track. "Raise Hell." It's not a thrash metal song. It's more just a straight up heavy metal song.
Yeah.
But even early on, it sounds like it has like commercial tendencies on that track. It's really weird.
Yeah, I should have put that song on instead of "I'm 18." It would have fit that out perfectly.
Yep. Totally.
Then that song was on the album, then this would have been a number one for me. But it's just that "I'm 18." Sort of it just irks me, to the letter T. So.
I think the biggest surprise. I was surprised that everyone had "For All Kings" so high. I didn't realize. I didn't know.
I had the highest position, but then again, I only listened to 2 albums. So.
Well, we all had it in our top 3, top 4. I had it. So I was just surprised we all it's consensus that it was so good.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say "For All Kings" is as great as worship music. I wouldn't say it's as great as.
Cool. Never seen that before.
Oh, nice. I think the CD is mine. I have the gatefold one. I was showing it, but
it sparkles like it should too. Just like
my
a church
CD
thing.
It's just a clear CD, pretty much.
Checking some here.
That's cool. That the picture disc was shining just like it would if it was like a church thing.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's cool.
I totally forgot to mention that that's the debut with John Donay from Shadows Fall for All Kings.
Yeah. I reckon they should get Dan. They should get Dan back in. Well, I don't know whatever happened to Dan. Did he die or did he just retire?
No, he don't make music anymore.
Huh. You guys don't know. You guys don't know, eh?
Dan Wilker or Dan Spitz, he sells watches now.
Dan Spitz, yeah.
Do you guys know of a heavy metal album that he did?
There was one.
Not too long ago. So it's really interesting. It's actually a pretty cool project. Him and Dave Mustaine did Red Lamb together. Dan Spitz and
think I've ever listened to that.
Dave Mustaine and Dan Spitz pretty well wrote this album together, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And it's Red Lamb, and it's
Red Lamb. I've heard
it's all right. It's so weird because Dan Spitz plays guitar and sings. Dan Spitz is singer, but it almost sounds like Megadeth. It's very weird. It almost sounds like 90s Megadeth.
Okay. I have never heard that band before.
Or like the late 80s, late 90s Megadeth, sorry. Like the you know, like when they were transitioning from going from killer thrash to that alternative thrash, right? So it's kind of like that alternative thrash, it's not like blistering thrash metal. It's just that like thrashing.
Sort of like Rust in Peace, that sort of era.
No, more like Youth Anastasia or something, or even after Cryptic's writings or something. It's like that.
Yeah, the two worst albums.
It's not bad. Definitely check it out. It's cool, but yeah. I believe it's called Red Lamb. Red Lamb. Everybody's gonna talk about
okay, because it's been so long. I never heard anything from Dan Spitz. I thought he might still have been still doing music and.
I think what it was is Dave Mustaine wrote most of it.
Yep.
But then obviously because he has a contract with Megadeth and whatever studio they're signed, he probably wasn't allowed to sing or be on another album or something, probably. So I don't know, or maybe just they're good old buddies, and he had a bunch of extra tracks that didn't work with Megadeth, and he said, I'm gonna write a little side stuff. I don't really know the full story behind it.
Okay.
It's an interesting, cool thing to look after if anyone was watching.
Yeah, because I know it's pretty unusual at that time. Bands, sort of mixing and matching each other and doing side projects back in those days. But not like today. Today you can be Megadeth and you can do a side project, and you won't get reprimanded.
Yeah, I don't know how I came across it, but I was surprised that I had never heard about it. I had never heard anyone talk about it, and then I was surprised to see that Dave Mustaine was involved with it, and then I was like, Dave Mustaine was involved in it, and nobody's ever talked. It was just very interesting. So
very okay.
Definitely interesting. Worth checking out.
Who was it released through? Not Megaforce. Was it like a big label or a small label?
It would just been like an old, low budget label. It might even been Dave's label or something, but.
Okay, so Red Lamb.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to check it.
And again, it was not popular at all. You can get the album dirt cheap.
Oh yeah.
I was that. I think that's how I came across it because I seen the LP for $10. I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then I seen Dan Spitz. I was like, "Whoa!" And then I think I went on Discogs and I seen Dave Mustaine was in the credits. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, no, because Dan Spitz was great for Anthrax, so it was a shame that he either left or he got booted out because he didn't fit in with their style of.
Check that out when we're done this live stream. Go on YouTube and check out the Red Lamb. You're gonna be really interested. And,
yeah,
Yeah, because he sounds almost like he's singing like Megadeth. Like it's like makes me think that Dave Mustaine wrote all these songs and just said, "Oh, I legally can't actually perform all these songs. You do it. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I'll have to do an interview with him and find out.
Yeah. It's funny because the time zone changed when you were doing your Pizza Death interview. I was just kind of getting ready for bed, kind of passing out. I was just in that passive, like so tired, passing out. So I pretty well just passed out right as you were starting your stream. So I haven't checked it out, but it looked cool. I kind of gave it a little preview. It looked cool.
I lost 3 subscribers, I think, from that interview.
Why? Oh, it looked really cool. It looked like they were really excited. They were having a good time.
Yeah, no, they were cool. You know, we had a great time. You know, we might do something later on down the line again as well. So,
yeah, well, when they have a new album come out or something. Or
I do a live stream. You know, talk about music or something else. You know.
Right. Yeah. Right. Actually, it'd be cool just to get actually one of the some of the band members or one or whatever, just as a guest, as a fan. Like just to talk about like what we're talking about, like, hey, you want to rank? Well, you know, ask one of their favorite bands, like Nuclear Assault. Let's do a Nuclear Assault ranking or whatever.
Yeah. That's what we discussed. Yeah. So, and I'm going to try and get another band interview with another Aussie band. So I'm just going to
Hidden Intent.
No, I'm going to do their friends. They got friends, a band called Reaper, which are a sort of blackened metal punk band out of Melbourne. I want to try and get an interview with them. So I'm going to contact them and see if they want to do a live stream. You know, hopefully they'll. You know, so
yeah, still got to check out the Pizza Death interview. I was saying earlier in the stream. I was just I just went on my lunch break, and you were still live, and I'm like, and I hear, I came in right at the end of the interview. I was just about ready to type something too, and the stream ended. I'm like, oh fuck!
You know,
I could have said hi to Pizza Death. Damn it!
I did fuck up. I forgot to go offline, and I left online towards the end. So you might see a little like a black sort of a couple of minutes of blackness because I put go offline, you know, but I didn't turn it.
Yeah.
The live stream off. It was still running when I got off. So yeah, that was a pretty good interview. I really enjoyed talking to the band, and I think that's what I might do on future. You know, get some local Aussie bands, and hopefully one day I want to get some international bands. You know, I want to get myself a bit more confident, and you know, I was very nervous during that interview. So if you couldn't tell, you know,
I was saying to you that the singer of Temptress, she likes to do social media and interviews and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I will try and get in contact with her. I don't know if anything will happen because she doesn't know me, and I don't know if she would be interested. But I could always ask. If she says no, you know, it's cool.
She seems really friendly. Like she's friends with a lot of guys that I talk with, like a lot of Australians, like Craig and. But she seems really friendly, and she's and she's in Facebook groups, and she talks, like she replies to people and interacts with people.
Yeah, well, I will definitely. But I need to listen to the music first. I haven't really delved into the music. I've only heard a couple of songs, and so I can't just interview her and then talk about.
Well, that's how I know about them, because all these Aussie guys are just they love that band because they're like local to Australia, right? So they'd be playing a bunch of local shows all the time. So that's how they know about them, because they've seen them live like 10, 15 times, right? Because that's local to them. But Temptress. Something Genevieve Rada or something like that.
I need to add her to my friends list, so hopefully she'll accept it. I will chat to her and ask her, but not straight. So I do want to interview this other band first before I do interview her. So you know, because I've got like the this band's record, so I'll listen to it, so I know about the music. So hopefully I'll get this band called Reaper on the live chat. And I was saying to Ben, I was saying to J-Dub, I lost 3 subscribers.
You lost 3 subs.
3 subs because
probably trolls.
Probably trolls, yeah. But I'm not.
They've been doing that to my page a lot lately. I've been getting it almost every day. And I know it's a fake account. I look at the account, I'm like, this is not a real account. Like I'll get a subscription. Like sometimes they come up, sometimes they don't. The channels, that is. I've been having these weird channels sub to me, then they unsub. I'm like, okay, these are troll accounts, and I think I know who's behind these accounts. So
it doesn't upset me. Like I'll get them back anyway.
Right. Somebody really hates us.
And I was thinking, because I interviewed a thrash band that wasn't a serious band. They were a band that was putting humor.
Oh yeah, that too. It could have been a metal elitist too. Oh, because to metal elitists, you can't have a sense of humor in metal.
No, and that was a great interview. I enjoyed that interview. I was giving them ideas for their next album.
Right.
So yeah,
it's like they really get mad if the black metal band has like kind of like a comedy feel to them.
Yeah, but for me,
what would be a good example of a black metal band that has like comedy? Maybe Dark Throne and some of their stuff.
Yeah, Dark Throne.
Carpathian Force. They're a band that don't take themselves too seriously.
Abath, is a band that has comedy in it.
Oh yeah, big time.
People are going to go, oh, you're saying Abath is a comedy metal band,
That's not true, cult black metal. Fuck you, poser. All that crap. It's like, dude, whatever.
Yeah, you can tell Abath is having fun, doing those silly crab moves, and especially on the cover of the new album, he's got those legend horns, like that movie Legend. He looks like that devil, from Legend.
I thought that was the whole point, to have fun while you're playing music. It doesn't matter what kind of music you're playing.
Yeah. For me, I'm an old guy, and I love when bands have sense of humor, because it shows them.
Me too.
You can't be all times. You can't be dark and serious all the time. You can't have songs about death, destruction. I love that stuff. Yeah. I love that stuff. Well, I love that that dark role. But I want something that's going to make me mosh.
Yeah, I like to hear.
Feel happy.
I like to hear. Yeah, I like to hear stuff that makes me laugh too.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a fun band. Here's a fun band that the elitists love, that they have fun with. So Midnight, they would like Midnight. Midnight's a fun band.
Yeah,
and they don't take themselves too seriously. Like, he wears the mask on stage, but like everyone knows that they're having fun.
Yeah.
Like they're not like, people know to not take them like super seriously.
Yeah, and Gwar,
exactly.
Band like Gwar as well. Yeah. Who love their their comedy. It's a comedic band, but it has a horror. It's a horror theme. It's a comedy horror thing.
Right.
People go, you can't have comedy in metal. It's not metal. It's
I've heard people say that.
You have comedy in metal.
It's like comedy's been in metal since the 80s.
Look at bands like
Scatterbrain. You definitely have to bring up Scatterbrain.
Well, Scatterbrain were ludicrous, and ludicrous had some really comical songs, but that was sort of clinical as well. But they had those sense of humor songs. SOD, MOD,
Nuclear Assault, they all had funny songs.
They had funny songs. You know? Like with
Exodus had some funny tunes.
Yeah,
early
in the early days, yeah. You know, who else? You know,
there's plenty. Municipal Waste.
Yeah, another band that people sort of say, oh, you like Municipal Waste? They're a party metal band. Well, fuck off. You know.
So what?
Fun.
So what if they like the party? Right.
You know. So enjoy your metal. You know, it's there to have fun with. You know, it's not.
Exactly.
Don't be serious all the time. Just don't be serious.
You can't be serious all the time.
No.
Here's one. What do you guys think of? Like, do you think Demolition Hammer took themselves too seriously? Do you think they were like?
Especially with some of those songs.
Believing like the Demolition, it's the 44 caliber, songs.
Surgery.
Yeah, do you think they were believing it like Glenn Benton was, like with Deicide? Like Glenn Benton was like, he was dead serious.
Oh, was he?
Oh yeah.
Glenn Benton was dead
afterwards, I think he took it tongue in cheek afterwards. I think Venom were another band that were tongue in cheek.
Venom was nice jokers. They were joking around, yeah.
Oh yeah, Venom never took themselves seriously.
Raven were tongue in cheek with some of their songs, and Anvil were a band that had some of those tongue in cheek songs.
God, they had a song called Pro Wrestling after all. Anvil.
Yeah.
And other goofy songs.
So if people want to unsub me because I think comedy metal is good, so be it. I don't care. I like what I like. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it.
Exactly. Yep.
Accept what it is. It's a So
I agree. I totally agree.
And now earlier. Oh, sorry. Reed. Oh, did you say something there? Sorry, I missed what you said there.
Oh no! I was just saying, pretty cool Anthrax ranking.
Oh yeah, no, I had fun with it. Yeah, again, with ranking, some of these I could kind of flip around, but
yeah, well, like for me too, like this album, it can go number one, but like I said, that I'm 18. I would probably skip that song, as a song that I would skip now. I wouldn't listen to it.
Man,
anymore.
I bet you an original pressing of that's worth money, because on the original pressing, they messed up the Anthrax logo. Well,
yeah, I think this is a Banzai
Bonsai
polygram.
I've heard of Bonsai before.
So this is an original, like Canadian pressing.
I was gonna say, isn't Bonsai Canadian, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, I think
the original
was supposed to be was pink.
Yeah, the original pressing of Fistful of Metal came out pink.
Was it?
Yeah, and the band hated it.
Yeah, they were probably like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, this has got the red logo.
Shit, mine's. Yeah, mine's a reissue too.
Yeah. Is yours a Banzai one?
No, mine's it's a Megaforce pressing.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not an original though.
Yeah, this is a Megaforce polygram.
Yeah, mine just says. You can read it there. It just says Megaforce.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is like it's 3 labels that released this album.
Which is
Banzai
weird.
released it in Canada, and yeah, it even says made in Canada. So this is a Canadian pressing.
I don't think I have any Bonsai.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought this at Walmart of all places. Believe it or not,
Yeah,
couldn't believe I saw it sitting there. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
those Walmarts in America, are releasing, everything now. They released Metallica albums 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I never got a chance to buy them. Yeah, mine's like a gray vinyl. You can
Right.
see it.
Yeah. Mine's on a mine's got the Megaforce. This is OG pressing.
Ooh,
Got the
nice.
Wow.
label.
That's cool.
So it's kind of
Sweet.
weird, It's got the Megaforce label, so it was released on Banzai in Canada. I say it's got the Banzai.
Yeah, Bonsai released a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, because Banzai released Exciter, they released Raven.
See, I have Raven on LP, but I don't think I have like the Bonsai Canadian versions. I think they're like a European UK version.
CDs just.
Or just the regular US versions. I don't even know what the hell it is.
Yeah,
I used to have the cassette version of Fistful of Metal too. And my cassette version did have the pink label. I wish I still had it.
So yeah, Anthrax. You either love them or you hate them. The band that
It's the only one I got on vinyl.
See, my Ravens, I don't think my Ravens are bonsais at all.
I think the early stuff was, like the really early stuff.
I think it might have been.
They were assigned to Atlantic here on this Raven. They were assigned to Atlantic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think,
that's when they were a bit more.
I think that's the first one they put out on Atlantic, if I'm right.
And then it was an All for One.
Ooh,
Megaforce.
This is an Italian pressing.
sweet.
It just says Italy based records. Well, and then obviously a side of Meat as well.
Yeah, I think Megaforce reissued that in America.
And then Meat is UK.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they did, yeah.
The Pack is Back was also Atlantic. I know that. I didn't have to look. I also know that the Pack is Back is Atlantic.
That is the only Raven album I could not get into. I've tried. That's like super commercial sounding. Oh, well, that's a good album.
I'm so biased with Raven because I love Raven. I love all of it. I just, Lance Bitch.
That's a really good album.
Bitch is also Atlantic as well.
Cool.
Atlantic.
Yeah, that's a great album. That's a great comeback album for.
This one's great. I'm so biased with Raven. I love all Ravens. So.
Yeah, I love the Pack is Back as well. It had some great tracks on there, but what got me was that they used a lot of saxophone and trumpets on that album on some of the songs.
Right.
Which
there's not really any speedy songs on it either.
No, it was commercial. They were trying to break into that commercial realm.
Yeah.
Cool picture on the back there.
Yeah, Wacko.
Oh, yeah.
Reminds me of the character from the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, The Running Man. Remember there was that.
Yes.
There was that bad guy. Wasn't there a hockey scene where they're playing hockey or something like that? In Running Man. So
anybody that's joining in, you just missed the Anthrax ranking. So right now we're just shooting the shit.
This is another Canadian band that I really love.
Ooh,
that
just got reissued. I was thinking about picking that up.
I get it because it's on Shadow Kingdom, so you can get it cheap over the USA.
Yep.
So,
it's much better than the other project that they tried to do. What's that other one?
There was a band called Phantom Lord.
No, the guys that did Pile Driver, they also did another little studio project.
Original Sin.
No, it's kind of got the blue kind of space.
On Thrasher.
Guy on the front. I had that Thrasher project. Not very good.
Oh. Yeah, because the guys on this one did another band called Phantom Lord, which was a thrash metal, US thrash metal band, but they used German names on it to make them sound European.
Hmm.
So they were
Phantom
another band that were fake. Like
There
Exorcist.
was also another one, and then there was also Peace Dogs. They also did Peace Dogs.
Yeah, like there was a label that had these bands on their label, but they were all making up fake bands, just to get the label going.
But yeah, no, I was pretty sure the Pile Driver guys, they did Peace Dogs, and then there was another one they were involved with.
Yeah, they did the Exorcist band Exorcist.
Exorcist, yeah, right. Who was that?
I think that was Jack. I think Jack Starr was in that band. He was in Virgin Steel.
Oh,
That's
yeah, I
who
think
it
I know what you're talking
was. There was rumors some of the Virgin Steel guys were in it.
Yeah, and that's some of the guys from Virgin Steel were in this band as well. So it's a great album. I do love the tagline. If you ain't into metal, if you ain't a metalhead, then you might as well be dead. I really love that tagline.
That is cool.
And this is another great band out of America. If you love speed metal, CX.
Oh, nice. That looks cool.
This would be up your alley, Jamie. You like your speed metal.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, that'd be great.
This is great speed metal.
We were just talking briefly about bands that had kind of secretive members or something. It made me think of you pull my Mekong Delta album here. Because nobody really knew who the members were, so it wasn't really until later that it was Rage, Living Death. Wasn't some of the band members. So it was like Rage. It was pretty much like Rage and Living Death, and then another guy who had a record label. But some Mekong Delta was like super progressive shit. But I guess the singer of Rage couldn't say that he was in it because his record label probably wouldn't let him put his name on it or something like that. But
man,
but there's the same thing with when Phil was on Necrophagia album in the mid '90s. He couldn't actually. He couldn't actually he couldn't officially write his name as Phil Anselmo. He had to create an alter ego, or else the label would have found out, and the label would have sued him or something.
Was it Anton Crowley?
Yeah, he called himself Anton Crowley.
Anton Crowley,
yeah. I'm like, wait, that's Phil Anselmo.
Yeah.
When I first saw it back in the early 2000s, I'm like,
oh yeah, that's a great album.
ooh, Living Death, heck yeah.
You know, I like this one because the vocals are a little like high pitchy and it's very like progressive. But again, I think I love the progressive kind of. It's almost like the German version of Voivod.
Okay.
Like, you know how Voivod was getting into that progressive kind of very weirdy progressive thrash. Living Death was starting to do that on this album. So a lot of people don't like this album. I've posted this album online, and people are like, I don't like that one. But I'm like, do you like Voivod? They're like, yeah. Well, I'm like, well, if you like Voivod, you should like that.
Intruder.
Intruder, that's cool.
Oh, Intruder, yeah, okay. I used to have one of their CDs.
Another great, US thrash band that never got its due. They released 3 albums in an EP. They reformed, but now they're on hold.
I used to have the EP. They did a cover of 250624 on it by Chicago.
They released this album. This was their first album. This was their second album.
Yeah.
Where they do a Monkeys cover. I'm Not the Stepping Stone, which is it's a song that's kind of cringy. You know what I mean? And then this was their final album before they broke up.
Yeah, they
super high pitchy. Super high pitchy vocals on that one.
Yeah. Then they sort of reformed I think, a year or so ago, but now they're on hold for some reason.
Mm.
Yeah, but do check out this album, Ben. You'll love it.
Yeah, I got to get my hands on that.
It's so
Definitely.
funny because Marduk did 2 covers of this album. They did "Sex with Satan"
Yep.
and "Sodomize the Dead" on the Marduk EP.
Some good speed metal right there.
It is. It's hot, and it's what's great about this record is you got like the insert and it tells you, the background on about this album, who played on it, all the information. So it's really good. This is
I noticed something when it comes to metal.
this is
Oh,
the
yeah,
lead
there we
singer.
go.
It's Pole Driver, the vocalist of Pole Driver.
Yeah, cool.
But Gordo Critchin, his name was Gordo.
Yeah, I've been noticing something really weird. Maybe it's because I'm getting older.
Oh,
It almost
yeah,
seems like there's 2 types of metalheads, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
There's the metalheads that like the modern stuff, then there's the ones like us that like the older stuff.
Well, speaking of getting older, I do love my black metal. I like my black metal, but I've slowly started to wane on it. I don't listen to it as much as anymore. To black metal, I'm getting into more the old school thrash or the new school thrash. The traditional metal, the doom metal.
I'm on a black metal kick. I'm on a black metal kick a couple years ago, and I kind of cut back on black metal music myself. Just makes you feel depressed. It's like I can't listen to this all the time.
Right.
I can only handle so much. I can only handle so much black metal. Right?
Yeah, you have to be in that sort of space. You know what I mean? You have to have that sort of be in a dark space where you want to listen to black metal or listen to it on a really cold and stormy day.
Especially DSPM, the depressive super metal black metal. I can't listen to that shit much anymore.
No, or even the raw black metal. I've started to wane off a bit, but I still listen to it sometimes when I'm getting more. I'm listening to more speed metal. I'm getting into my old school speed metal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the crack and fresh.
I'm sure you guys would agree that I definitely find like the like a black thrash more interesting, just because there's like less atmospheric stuff going on. It's just more straightforward.
Do a black and thrash.
It has both. It has black metal and thrash mixed together. So you've got two styles in one. So black thrash is huge. There's so many great bands. If you like black thrash and you like bands like Hellripper, check out this band out of Scotland, Night Fighter. This is a one band black and thrash, the vein of Hellripper.
Right.
That looks good.
It's very limited to like 150 copies. So I got this off the band. So if you like Hellripper and bands like that sort of style, Midnight, that black thrash, a great band to check out. So
you got those. You got those Bewitcher albums too, didn't you? You got those Bewitcher albums recently.
I got one Bewitcher album.
Yeah.
But I tried to order their second album through Shadow Kingdoms, but they sold out. So there's no more copies available. Now I have to go to fucking Discogs to pay $80-$90 for first and second Bewitcher albums.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Lots of great black and thrash, man. Azhags Abyss, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, he was on the my live stream yesterday. He was there for a second, then he dropped off.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
But thanks for dropping in the other day, Biz.
Oh, I know. I was gonna say when you had the Pile Driver is Would you even put like Piledriver in like the say if you were like grouping like say if you were putting together like a horror grouping or something? You know, when it's like horror related,
Well,
horror themed. You know what I mean?
well, this one is a bit more sort of
Or not like horror themed, but you know, like
satanic. This is a little bit more
serial killer, satanic.
sort of satanic speed metal. You know, like it was back in the day. You know, there was bands like Infernal Majesty were singing about Satan, and the First Sacrifice was about Satan, and you know, it was those early '80s satanic panic bands. You know, they were doing the.
See, there was what's that other? Oh, Witchburner. I'm thinking of the band Witchburner.
Yeah, Witchburner
They were
did German spat thrash.
Kind of,
out of Germany. Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of like a satanic black and thrash band. They were pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I definitely will be doing some more. It's just trying to get bands to agree, you know. So I could always ask, and I will definitely be doing more of that. You know, I want to interview Holocaust one day when Ben gets a full band. I'll do a Holocaust interview. You know,
Like, yeah, it sounds like a cool thing to do.
you know,
Interview some bands.
Yeah, it's something that that I wanted to do for a while, but I was kind of too nervous to, you know, a bit scared, you know, to do because, like, I know Jeff, when he wanted to interview a band, you know, they sort of pissed him off.
It seems like a lot of YouTubers are starting to do that now, or they're starting to interview bands.
Yeah, it's true.
Holocaust 2024 for president.
Yeah, because now, like YouTube is a new fanzine, you know. We used to have the old school fanzine magazines back in the day with band interviews.
Oh,
YouTube,
yeah.
Now YouTube is the modern fanzine now.
Pretty much. Shit, back in the day, it was pretty much magazines and the fanzines, like you said.
Yeah, now it's YouTube and, you know, Twitch and all these, you know, platforms. You know, it's the new metal magazine. So
I was going to say, yeah, pretty much YouTube. Just type in any band name on YouTube or anything metal related, and you'll find anything you want, pretty much.
yeah, but I do miss you know, this form of.
I do miss.
You know,
Yeah, I do miss the magazines. I always
know?
had fun with the magazines.
Because this was like you know, the catalog for records. You know, when they would review albums and you would go look through it and you see a really cool album cover. You read the review, but with reviews, I don't like. If I saw a review like it was 9 out of 10 or 5 out of 10, I don't take notice of that. You know, I'll disregard, you know, the ratings. So I'll go buy an album by the cover. You know, if I saw, you know, a great cover, you know, like
Yeah, I know.
like COC, the debut album, covers like that, you know, from Commercial Liberty. You know, I wouldn't look at the rating. I'll look at the cover art and I think, oh yeah, this looks cool. I'll check them out.
Heck yeah.
You know, ratings don't mean shit really. You know, it's what
magazines are definitely cool.
You know, I love magazines.
I still got a bunch of my old magazines.
I've got still got my Terrorizer magazines.
Oh yeah. Let's see, which ones do I have? I have Braveworks, Bloody Knuckles. I have a bunch of those magazines. I have some Metal Maniac magazines.
I still got them as well.
I got a shitload of Metal Edge magazines.
I remember Metal Edge, back in the day.
I had like Circus and Hit Parader. I had like Circus and Hit Parader.
Yeah, I got a few of those too, still.
Yeah,
That's how I
Yeah,
found out about a
yeah.
lot of the underground metal.
Was,
Let's
was,
go to
was,
Maggot.
was Hit Parader and Circus only like a 90s thing? Is that why you
Yeah,
guys not familiar with Circus Hit Parader? Or?
I think it was around the 90s. They were doing like the hardcore stuff in the beginning. Then they went more into the hair metal style with the Bon Jovis and the Motley
Yeah.
Crues and that.
Yeah, they were definitely more of the mainstream type of metal magazine.
Oh, because for me, they were doing all like the new metal and stuff. They were just covering heavy metal for me. So that's like when I was getting into heavy metal as like a teenager, that's what I was like, Circus Hit Parader and stuff. But,
Yeah, Metal Hammer were doing that as well, from the UK. I used to get like the metal. Remember the magazine Metal Mania, Ben?
Oh yeah, Metal Maniac magazine. Yeah,
No,
that
no,
one.
Mania. Metal Mania. That was another one.
Oh, Metal Mania. Okay.
Yeah,
I think I remember it. Yeah.
that was a great magazine back in the day.
Then back in the '80s, you had what's that one magazine? Metal Force.
Metal Force. Yeah, I remember Metal Force.
Oh man, I'd love to get my hands on some of them old issues.
Yeah, but there are still some great magazines out there. You know, still people are doing it. You know, because they believe in heavy metal. You know.
Well, I think I heard the magazines are starting to come back.
So Fistful of Metal is a UK magazine. There's Iron Fist from the UK.
Nice.
There's another zine, Zero Tolerance from the UK or the UK that does extreme metal. So there are still zines out there, but they are quite expensive now because
Right.
that's why a lot of people are doing online stuff on online zines.
I think the only magazines we have here yet is Metal Hammer and maybe Terrorizer. I think Terrorizer is still around.
Terrorizer finished. They went years ago. Yeah.
So, well, I guess Metal Hammer would be the only one, or the only magazine you can still find around here.
Yeah. So people need to support printed material. You know, if we don't have these, you know, we do have the internet, but you know, I love stuff like like this. You know, reading reviews and interviews and band photos. You know, but this is an album that I'm going to order next.
Which one's that?
Friends of Hell.
That looks cool.
If you love your doom metal, this is a band that I want to get. It's got the guy who was in Satan's Wrath.
Oh, cool.
On drums, he plays drums on this album, and it's got Reverend Bizarre on vocals from the band Reverend Bizarre.
Oh, okay. That name sounds familiar.
So yeah, it's got some great reviews.
Oh, wow.
This album. So yeah, it's definitely an album that I want to get into my collection. You know, and it's another album that I want to get.
Oh, the newest Saxon. I do have that one.
Yeah, because Jamie still hasn't done a Saxon top 10 yet. I'm still waiting for Jamie.
Oh man,
that's you. That's your fault. I'm actually gonna just do a quick top 10 Saxon on video, but because I still have the top 10 like still in order still. So, but I was gonna do a quick video, but I was pulling out albums because I'm gonna be I'm gonna be doing I think either top 20 or top 25 80s German thrash albums. So I was yanking out all my 80s German thrash albums and seeing how many I had and seeing if I could even have enough to do top 25, top 20. So
yeah.
I was thinking of doing my top 10 bands from Yugoslavia.
Interesting.
You have one?
I had I've got about 5 records from Yugoslavia, Serbia, and Croatia.
I'm so bad with I forget the kind. Like usually I can remember like German, U.S., Canada, but then I started forgetting like when it's like who's Danish, who's Netherlands, who's Italy. I start forgetting who's who.
Yeah, there's a great Polish thrash metal scene, back in the day. Like, you got bands like Cat from Poland. There's some great Polish thrash that from the 80s.
Well, then Acid Drinkers was Polish.
Yeah. Acid Drinkers were more of a crossover sort of hardcore thrash band.
And you got Polish death metal like Vader.
Their first album was more
I think Hate's from. I'm pretty sure Hate's Poland. Man.
Yeah, Hate is Polish. Yeah.
I have a progressive thrash band called Astaroth. Early 1991. I'm pretty sure that's Polish. But I know it's this is a couple of months ago, but someone was making a video and it was like they were saying that Pretty Maids was Danish. I was like, oh fuck, I totally forgot that Pretty Maids was Danish.
Yeah.
When the female metal fan was making a video and I was like, oh, when he was showing me Danish albums, I was like, fuck, I totally forgot that Pretty Maids was Danish.
Yeah. Did you guys watch Thrash Maniac's Metallica ranking?
No. Did I watch? Is it a new video?
Yeah,
I think he did it. I think he's gonna do one, or he's done one. So
Metallica ranking is just not interesting to me. It's like even to do one myself, it's just not interesting.
It's overdone.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't do it. Because it like you said, it's just overdone now. Just
like we all know what the top 3 with top 4 is going to be like. You know what I mean?
I mean, it seems like every time somebody does a poll on YouTube or Facebook, what band should I do for an album ranking? You put Metallica in there. Everybody chooses Metallica. It's like, how many times do you people have to see a fucking Metallica album ranking? Damn.
Yeah. Ben, did you do your violence ranking yet?
I'm working on it still. I'm hoping to get it done tomorrow.
I know they got a huge catalog, so it's going to be a very hard one.
Oh yeah,
It's going to be a 5-hour stream, that one, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 5-hour stream for 3 albums.
They got 4 now. Don't forget the new one.
Oh yeah. Technically, it's 2 albums and 2 EPs.
Oh yeah, because they did the Torture Tactics EP.
Man, I wish I still had them on CD.
I have that on tape.
I gotta get those again. Eternal Nightmare is pretty easy to come by still.
Yeah.
But Torture Tactics, that one, it's expensive.
Frederick, you hit the mute button by accident.
Uh-oh.
No?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I want to get Oppress the Masses on vinyl, and I think music for vinyl should reissue. I think music for vinyl should reissue that one as well.
They need to. I wanted to get it on CD, and holy crap, man! I think the cheapest price I found was like $65.
Yeah, I know. It's way over. I do have it on cassette though. I have it on cassette.
So now I'm kind of slapping myself for selling my copy years ago.
Yeah. But their third album wasn't very good.
No, that's hard to get. That one's really hard to get.
Oh, Nothing to Gain.
Nothing to Gain.
Nothing to Gain. That was their sort of black album. They went,
It's a weird album.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think it was recorded in 1990 and it didn't come out till 93.
Yeah.
And by then they were broken up.
But they did. So that album it's not one of my favorite Violence albums, but the first two will always be every thrash head's favorite albums.
Oh, pretty much.
And the new one and the EP probably is going to be sort of one of those albums that people are going to love it or hate it because
I think the new EP's freaking awesome.
I was gonna say, yeah, I actually liked it. At first when I heard it, I was like, the vocals are kind of weird, but you know what? No, it's great. It's awesome. I've listened to it all the way through. It's good.
Yeah. An album that we should do a ranking on is Dark Angel. That's another band that should be ranked.
Yeah, that might be a 10-hour stream too, Dark Angel.
Yeah. Because next year, I read somewhere that there's a new album coming out next year.
Time does not heal. That's my number one.
I hope so. It's been a long time. Well, yeah, it's been 30.
Yeah, because
31 years.
Gene Hoglan has gone back to Dark Throne to write some material, and he said it could be out next year.
Man, I was trying to look up old Dark Angel interviews on YouTube. There's really not much out there. Like as far as interviews from way back then go, I found maybe one or two interviews.
Yeah,
really, I think I found an interview from. I think it's from when Weep Scars came out.
Okay.
But
because
there's not much out there.
No, I've seen a lot of Metallica interviews. There's like a 1,000,000 to 1 Metallica interviews.
Yeah. God.
I've seen some footage of Violence recently performing, and man, they look like they're just killing it.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Violence. Fuck, they sound awesome.
Yeah. Violence.
Yeah, Sean Killen.
When it comes to extreme thrash, man, Violence is definitely probably about as extreme as you can get.
Yeah, I've seen some live clip from a friend when he went to the concert in LA in California just last weekend.
No, Zach, we will not do.
When you guys were talking about the Metallica thing, it's like I do the group shows on my channel, and I was like, I don't even want to do a group discussion on Metallica because I was like, it's not even interesting to me. Like, I'm not even enthusiastic about doing a Metallica show. So.
It's like,
no,
it's like at this point when it comes to Metallica, it's like I've heard it all before. you know.
Actually, I ran into the same issue with Motley Crue. I had some friends ask me, "Hey, let's do a Motley Crue show." I was like, that's just not even really interesting because we all know the classic 5 Motley Crue albums. So what else more is there? We all know those are the best 5. What else is there more to talk about, really?
Yeah.
But then I came good, and then someone else was like, well, let's do our top 5 favorite Motley Crue songs. I was like, okay, now that's interesting.
That's a little more interesting, yeah.
That's more interesting. I'd rather hear top 5 favorite Motley Crue songs than your top 5 Motley Crue albums.
It's like doing a destruction ranking or a tank card ranking or or running wild. Everybody's done it. We don't need to know about those albums anymore.
Different. No, that's totally different.
Those are definitely different.
Newer destruction kicks ass. So.
If I was going to do a rank, I'd like to do like some of those really obscure, but I want to do a Pizza Death ranking, or Rage or Rage ranking.
Me and David did a top age Rage albums, so
yeah,
I've done that one myself. But
I want to do a living death ranking, a German thrash, living death,
There's plenty of bands.
Assassin, another band that never gets never gets any recognition.
I recently bought Bestia Mundius or whatever Bestia album. I got that one on the way.
You know.
Is
See,
it Mundius?
ooh, nice.
No, I ordered it, but it never came in.
I was just gonna ask if you had any of the newer Assassin albums.
I got their other one, their latest one that they released after that.
What's it called? What is it?
Or combat something. Or that's one before. You know, I rather do obscure bands. You know, obscure bands. You know, like the mainstream bands get talked about quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it still goes on YouTube. Every time I turn around, I see the same album ranking. Ranking the Metallica albums, ranking the Morbid
Angel. Even Iron Maiden gets ranked all the time, you know. You know, Iron Maiden, you know.
Like a couple years ago, I wanted to rank the Death albums until I saw all these videos pop up. I'm like, nah, don't want to do it now.
I had some people that want to do a Death group show, so I'll definitely do like a Death group show where we all talk about it. Sure, yeah, I'll do that for sure.
Autopsy. I don't think anybody's done an Autopsy ranking or Pungent Stench. It's another German band. Never gets any recognition. You know, that would be another band that I would love to do a ranking on. You know, talk about Pungent Stench. They were a great, you know, band. So I know. Necrotic Nick wants to do a Pungent Stench, but he's backlogged up with other rankings that he wants to do.
Oh yeah, there's so many videos of that on YouTube too. Metallica versus Megadeth.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, how many more years am I going to hear about this? I've been hearing about it since like '91.
Right. Another band that's sort of it. You know, I'm sick and tired of ranking is the Kiss albums as well. That's another ranking.
Oh yeah, they're all over YouTube too.
That I'm kind of yeah. I've heard that before. Yeah.
I get why people rank these bands for views because more people are going to view them. Unfortunately,
you know, I don't hate these bands at all. I love all these bands, but you know, it's just there's just so much, you know, videos out there doing the same thing. Like Jamie said, rank a favorite Kiss song. You know, your favorite Kiss song. You know, from an album. You know.
I think everything's reasonable except for like Metallica, like, or an Iron Maiden, basically, like, you know, like it's just because it's predictable. Like, okay, we know your favorite, your top, we know your top, you know, a couple favorite Metallica albums. We know the top, you know, Iron Maiden albums, but everything else is kind of up for debate. Like, you know, people have their own tastes and styles. Like, someone may. Like Running Wild, like someone may love Rapid Foray and someone may not like Rapid Foray. Like, I love Rapid Foray, so I'm going to rank that really high for me. Someone else may hate Rapid Foray and rank it right at the bottom.
Yeah, true. It's like we did the Gravedigger, you know, our Gravedigger ranking, you know.
Gravedigger's all over the place. Yeah, that's all over the place. Like, new, old, middle, all Gravedigger's fucking awesome. So that's not predictable at all. That's unpredictable.
I'm just gonna say there's not a bad album from Gravedigger.
You know, another band that never gets sort of ranking is the Sacred Reich albums. That'd be another good ranking to do.
Be a cool one to do.
I love Sacred Reich. I'm really biased because I love Heel, and I hear a lot of people don't like Heel, and I'm like, I fucking love Heel.
Yeah, Heel was it wasn't trashy as their early stuff, but it's still a good album.
That one's probably more hardcore sounding.
It's like crossover, but
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Two great bands there. Abyss.
Good.
I love Crossfire too.
Oh, nice. Oh, what's that other? Oh, Accuser.
Yes.
Accuser. That would be a cool one to do a ranking for.
Yeah, I know. I get their albums.
Which for me, that's a band. That's a band I'm just now starting to really get into now. It's Accuser. I don't know why I never really got into them in the past, or ever really listened to them in the past.
Those old Accuser albums are really hard to get. I've been trying to get some of them.
Yes, yeah, same here. I know No Remorse Records released the first 5, and
Yeah.
And Boone's Overstock in the US released just reissued
Yeah.
2 of their
Yeah,
90s
Scott,
albums.
yeah, Scott Waters was telling me about those on Facebook Messenger.
He's been
And I
obsessed
ordered
with those guys.
You know-
Accusers. Like,
What be a good ranking? Christian metal bands. I don't think anybody has ever done bands on Christian metal. The thrash scene, the hardcore.
I've never
Christian
seen
hardcore.
none. No, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
got Deliverance, Tourniquet,
Yeah, I think
Mortification.
that'd be a good stream as well, to talk about some Christian metal bands that a lot of people may not have really delved into.
I kind of
Or-
like
or
that
there's-
idea, honestly, because there's a lot of great Christian metal bands.
Oh yeah, there is. Like Sacrament, Deliverance, Tourniquet,
Believer.
Saint, Striper, Believer,
Living
Living
Sacrifice.
Believer is a good one. I forgot the Believer.
Vengeance Rising.
Oh, Vengeance
Vengeance
Rising.
Rising, yeah. I don't really like Vengeance Rising. I don't know why. I just didn't really like it all. I don't really like it.
Oh, their first album was very much like Exodus album, like Bonded by Blood. Their first
No, it's
one.
very like death. It's almost like a death vocal almost. But I don't know. It's something what I
Yeah, no, Vengeance Rising are a very good band.
I recently got a Mortification album. I think it's the first one. I got Blood World Mortification. It's fucking really good.
Oh yeah,
It was cool. It was like a nice, like a death thrash almost.
yeah. Well, Mortification were originally Light Force. When Light Force were more of a traditional speed metal, then they did Mortification. And Mortification are a mixed bag. That they do death metal. They went death metal. Then they went thrash metal. After later on.
Even kind of progressive metal.
Yeah.
Well, what album was
Yeah,
it?
didn't they add some like industrial elements there, like the album after? But I have Blood World.
Scrolls of the Megaloth was their really their
that's the
album.
death metal album. Yep. Scrolls of the Megaloth.
Yeah.
Their third
that was
album, Post Mortem. That still had the death metal in it.
Yeah. So yeah,
That one,
Um,
yeah. A little bit of thrash in there too on Post Mortem.
yeah. So
The
yeah,
Blood World was more thrash metal.
yeah,
Still had the death metal in it too.
yeah.
Yeah,
like
no,
Christian
Blood
metal-
World is the first one I ever heard. That's the first album I've ever heard in full from them. So I
It's
thought it was
freaking weird.
awesome. It was good. I'll definitely pull it
Really?
out again.
That's a weird one. I bought that as a blind buy years and years ago. Oh, jeez. I think I was only 14 when I bought that. It was around 94 when I first heard Mortification.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh,
Great
this is
Aussie
pretty damn
band.
good.
And from the cover, you would have no idea that they're Christian at all. From the cover.
No.
Well, no, a lot of these Christian metal albums never really showed.
That's
really
where I
much.
bought it at. That's where I bought it at too. Was at a Christian bookstore because that's when I started finding out about like bands like Deliverance and Believer. And yeah, my one friend from school was telling me about these bands. I'm like, oh really? So I went to the Christian bookstore one day after school and started checking these bands out because they had like a little cassette player in there where you could listen to the tapes. They had like demo tapes in there of these bands, and you could listen to them.
Yeah,
It's
that's,
really
that's where
cool.
that's where I found Vengeance Rising, their debut album, at a Christian metal shop. I was looking at the CDs and I thought, oh, this looks interesting. There were zombies on the cover, and there were human and then there were zombies, and I thought, oh, this is weird. This is something that doesn't look like it fits in this shop at all.
Then it, then it got me more interested when I heard that Christians were even outraged by these bands playing that kind of music. I'm like,
oh yeah, because I thought, long hair, and especially with Striper. Striper got a lot of flack were throwing up because they were a Christian metal band. And they were throwing Bibles out, and that people were going, "Oh, you can't do that. That's not Christian." Metal is the devil's music. It's evil. We need to burn these albums.
It's like I thought you're supposed to be Christian people. I thought Christians weren't supposed to judge.
That's it. But I do.
Oh, good, Frederick. I'm sorry.
No. I do love my Christian metal. Try and find records. They're very expensive at these Christian metal records. They're around about the $60-$70 mark. Which is very high for a record. But I suppose
they're not. It's pretty cool that Rock's Records is reissuing a lot of these reissuing a lot of these bands. There's definitely a lot of stuff that got lost over the years.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the first two Believer records. I want them to be re-released on vinyl. The first two.
I think they did get re-released, or no, maybe it was. No, it's the last two albums that got released or re-released. I didn't really care
the
for
first two were on Road Runner Records. I think the first.
Yep.
Roadrunner
Records. Yeah, it's Roadrunner Records and Rex Records.
Yeah.
Which Rex was pretty much Rex was pretty much the Christian metal blade, if that makes sense.
I don't know why they're not getting reissued, but they should do. Rex should reissue those albums. If they release their last two, I think they'll release their first two for sure.
Yep. Speaking of which, I still have the original versions of these. Because back in the day, too, there was Intense Records, too, which was basically a Christian metal label, too.
That's what I was thinking of, Intense. Because that's Deliverance is on Intense.
Oh, yeah, speaking of that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think Intense and Rex Records were sort of a sub-label for Rex, I think.
There's Rex. Yeah, there's Rex. Yeah, Rex and Intense were pretty much the big ones for Christian, like the more extreme side of Christian metal.
Yeah.
There was another one, too. I think it's called Word Record. But that's more like hair metal, Christian hair metal, or whatever you want to call it. But no.
Because I know, like Scott Wallace is trying to reissue a lot of these Christian bands on his label as well.
Yeah, he's been doing that too. He'll message me. In fact, he just messaged me earlier today about some stuff he's reissuing. But no, I got these original Intense Deliverance cassette tapes.
Oh, awesome!
Cool.
Except for that. Well, except for this one. This one was actually reissued by Scott Waters.
Yeah, the demo. Demo tape.
Greetings of Death, the 1986 demo.
Oh, awesome!
Or Retroactive Records.
Yeah, I need to get that on vinyl.
But yeah, this is. I kid you not, I got these all for $10 on eBay. This whole pack.
Cool.
That's a couple years ago.
Is Deliverance weapons of delivery on there? Delivery of your weapon?
Deliverance of
That's the only one I don't have. On
I
cassette tapes.
I have it. I can never remember the title. It's Deliverance.
Weapons of Mass Destruction.
The first Deliverance album?
The second one, I think.
Weapons of Warfare.
Weapons of Warfare.
Oh man, that's such a good album.
Yeah, it's very awesome thrash.
Yeah, I got that on vinyl. Yeah, that's a great album.
I lucked out playing that.
Yeah, that's like the Master of Puppets of Christian metal, or Christian thrash metal. It's got the crunchy rips, kind of like Headfield.
Yeah, that's a great album. Yeah, yeah. I got the vinyl of that.
Especially a cool purple CD.
That's the intense version as well. So yeah, original pressing.
Oh man, that one's worth some money. Yeah, that's the only one I don't have on cassette. Got the first Deliverance on cassette.
Oh, that's a great album. That's so raw. That's very raw. That album.
If there's the Intense logo.
Yeah.
Got their third album. What a joke. That was like their last.
No, I want to get that one. I want to get that one.
Oh, this is such a good one.
Yeah, is it as good as their first two, or is it just sort of in the same vein? Because
it's kind of weird. This one's probably their thrashiest. But it's really weird because this one's kind of like an SOD too. There's some joke songs on here. Yeah, they got a song on here called Chip Beef, which is weird. Yeah, this is pretty much like a joke album. Oh yeah, Stay of Execution. I don't have on cassette either. Got Learn. So that's pretty much when they were starting to go more progressive.
I think they're still active too. I think Deliverance is still active.
Yeah, yep. They are, but I think they're getting back to their their roots again. They get back into the thrash again.
Oh yeah, I do have their newest album. See, Intent Records used to do these live series, and I got the Deliverance one.
Oh wow.
This was actually the first Deliverance album I ever bought back in the day, or cassette tape. I mean, it's not the original one I had from back then, but now this one, River Disturbance, not a thrash album at all. This one's more progressive, kind of alt rock. It's not really a lot of metal on here. And Camelot and Smithereens. They actually just re-recorded this album. I gotta get it too. And I got the best of Deliverance. That's all my Deliverance cassette tapes. Yeah, there's like 2 I don't have. Stay of Execution and Weapons of World Warfare.
When I was putting my Deliverance album away, I grabbed I figured you guys would probably appreciate and know this one.
Oh, yeah. Devastation. Nice.
They're a band I need to get as well on vinyl.
And this is obviously this is a Century Media reissue somewhere in the late 90s at some point. But
you
guys, I just got this, so I'm so happy I so lucked out. Someone traded this in at the Georgia Trading Center in USA, and I got it. So happy. Chastain, Voice of the Cult.
Yeah, I got that on CD as well. Yep.
Original road race, like Leviathan Road Racer. Fucking cool.
Okay, yeah, I got the Dive Bomb Leviathan.
Where's the Road Racer thing? No. Oh, I don't even think it says Road Racer anywhere. Leviathan. Oh, you guys are all in the video. I only have 2 Chastains. I got this one and Ruler of the Wasteland. Although this is actually my favorite Chastain, so I lucked out by getting my favorite Chastain. Looking cool. I wanted it on vinyl, I'll admit, but I'll settle for the CD. Do you have any Chastain on vinyl?
I got one their last album, Metal was the album.
Oh, you don't have any of the classic '80s ones? Wow.
No.
Wow. I'm not surprised about that. I'm really surprised, actually.
I've got them on CD.
Oh. Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, like this is a great album.
Yes.
It's a great album. This is another great album.
Lay's, yes. I love Lay's Rocket. I still need to get the first two. I was listening a lot last couple of months. I was listening a lot to their second album.
That's a great album.
Backstabbers and Backstabbers on the second one.
Yeah, this one here.
Back and stab.
No Stranger for Danger.
But
Lars Rocket.
my favorite Les Rockets is actually the third and fourth one. But.
Yeah, it's a good album too. It's a bit more speedy. They'll get into their groove on this album, but when they released this album, they went full on thrash.
I think that one is my favorite. Yeah, if I were to do like a on the cuff Laz Rocket ranking, that would probably be my first, and then the one after probably number two, and then the one after is probably number three. Game Over, yeah. Game Over. Yeah, modern thrashers, new thrashers.
Game Over.
I don't think I have. That looks good though.
Italian thrash, band out of Italy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And
did you hear Harlot? Isn't Harlot?
Game Over. Game Over. I do have one of Game Over CDs.
It's a great
Italian. I take that back. I don't.
I got Harlot.
I'm sorry.
Harlot. Yeah, I've got all the Harlot records. Most of them anyway.
I bought Harlot, Origin, and Chaos Fear.
Ooh, Chaos Fear.
Yeah, I got Chaos Fear and Harlot I bought recently.
So right there's the newest Deliverance album. The Subversive Kind.
And is it heavy? Are they like thrashing?
Yeah, this one's
this one.
Thrash. This one's really
cool.
thrashy.
Let's check it out. I'd be kind of curious to hear what Deliverance sounds like nowadays.
Yeah, no, Deliverance. Yeah, they're a bit older, but you know.
Yep.
They've got no hair. But
really good album. I still got a couple old ones here. Massey.
That's what's in the back. That's brand new wrapped. Oh, they reissued it?
No, this is the original one. I got this. I only paid $6 for it.
Is it wrapped still, or is it just the plastic on it?
Let me get this plastic off here if I can.
Oh no, I'll definitely leave it on. Definitely leave it on. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, fuck. What the hell? Yeah, the Enigma Metal Blade Records.
Well, actually, this is interesting because I actually discovered Massey because of Scott Waters. Because I was watching one of his collection updates one time and I seen the Massey and I pulled it up and it was cool and I got Downtown Dreamers and then I had to get the second. He only has 2 albums, so then I got the second one.
I mean, this record's still in pretty good shape too for only paying $6 for it.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
This is a great album.
Oh yeah,
this is a great album. But it's
pretty decent for some old guys. It's decent.
Gee, I've never heard of that band before.
This is a great album.
Yeah.
Oh, Toxic. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh shit.
World Circus.
Think this. Another great album.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I gotta get that.
Atrophy.
I think those are old.
They're being reissued on vinyl again.
You know what? My only gripe with that is the lackluster album title font. The font album title.
Yeah.
It just says. What does it say? It just says
Socialized Hate.
Socialized Hate, just standard black font. Like
That's a really good thrash. That's a really good album.
Great, but a very bad album cover.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
That's
cool, and at least there's an actual font onto it on the title.
That's a band that needs to get back together.
Sadist is rad. Sadist is rad. Like,
Oh,
Sadist.
Sadist.
thrash. Sadist is like death thrash, pretty well, right?
Yeah, this is a great album.
Like a blackened thrash, black thrash.
And these two,
Realm.
Ooh, there
Those
we
are
go.
fucking hard.
Realm is
classic
good.
album.
Wow.
I want these on vinyl.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah,
Those realms are hard to get, even on CD.
I think we need to do a ranking on this band.
Oh yeah, you know it. I've never heard of that band before. Oh, you're talking about David Chastain earlier.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's a great album.
And there's that's not instrumental, is it?
No,
No.
Nah, it's not instrumental at all. Really good.
Is he still using the same singer that he was back in the 80s on that?
Who is the singer?
So I have a CJSS. I wonder if it's the same singer. Am I gonna find it?
Russell Jenkins?
yes,
Yeah, Russell Jenkins is the vocalist on here.
What about this band? Anybody's heard of this band before? Violator?
Oh, yeah, Violator's good. It's a good thrash metal.
This is another great band that I really like. Ex Mortis.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it too. Oh, yeah.
S'mores is awesome. I got it. S'mores.
Another great band. Holy Grail.
Ooh.
Holy Grail's awesome. I've seen Holy Grail live. I guess they broke up. It's too bad.
Yeah,
Good
another
band.
great band. Natal.
Never heard that one. Huh.
This is an earache. Was on the or on earache.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Pull up my CJSS here.
Ooh.
that's the instrumental album.
No, it's not. No,
No,
it's not instrumental. It's like it's basically Chastain, but with a male vocalist. But anyway, the male vocalist is Russell Jenkins. Yes.
yeah.
So he's still using Russell Jenkins. Huh? That's cool. I gotta check that one out.
It's pretty cool.
I gotta check that one out.
Nice. That looks good too.
This is
I've heard that.
traditional speed metal from Brazil.
Isn't there also an Armored Angel?
Ooh, nice.
Armored Angel?
This is a band from the 80s.
What is it?
Ivory
Is it
Tiger.
Ivory Tower?
No, Tiger.
Oh,
What?
Ivory Tiger.
Yeah, this is like your power metal from the 80s.
Ooh, nice.
Is that something that got re-released? Is that something that got released after?
Skull. I need to get me some Skull Fist. Excellent band.
And this album as well.
Oh, gee, there's that album we've never heard of again. Damn.
That's it. Well, I'm plugging Metallica because I want to interview the band.
Well, actually, right before I joined Ben's stream, I recorded a 5 vocalists that could have replaced Iron Maiden. So I'm not going to show you the albums that I used for the Bruce Dickinson replacement.
Yeah, I was trying to be a bit different on that video. I wanted to actually use audio so you could get a gist of what the vocalists sound like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which,
I know.
that's kind of a risk because you really got to watch what you play on. Well, you really got to watch what you play on YouTube. But I figured
one
kind of safe.
Yeah, one vocalist. Sorry.
Now YouTube usually don't get you for really underground or for the really underground bands. It's just the more popular bands you got to worry about.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking of Blaze Bailey to replace Bruce Dickinson. You know, I think he'll fit Iron Maiden very well.
Oh yeah,
I'll give one away. You guys can debate on this one as well. I threw up Mike Vesera. Mike Vesera from Loudness and Yngwie Malmsteen.
Interesting.
Mike Vesera is a solid man. He could hit notes. He's a serviceable.
That's weird. That's probably actually my favorite Yngwie singer.
But I think Mike Vesera is super talented. He could have definitely
I know
done anything that you asked for him.
Halford would fit Iron Maiden. Halford in Iron Maiden. I think that would go pretty well. It would give him
if everyone hates Nostradamus, then well, I don't know what else they'd be expecting if he joined Iron Maiden.
Nostradamus.
Because it would be much more progressive and less than that even. So if people didn't like Nostradamus, then they definitely wouldn't like.
Also, the guys from Insane Clown Posse would fit Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah. Insane Clown Posse.
What's it? J Dope or something? J Dope? Dopey J? I don't know.
Yeah, J Dog or something like that. I think that'd be quite interesting seeing Insane Clown Posse. You know, one of the members doing Iron Maiden.
Imagine for like a April Fool's joke or something, they came out and guested as for a live song. Imagine they said, "Okay, we're gonna bring out some guests," and then imagine Insane Clown Posse came on a stage. Everyone would be like, "What the fuck?"
All right, I'm sorry, our vocalist quit the band today, and well, here's our new vocalist right now, Taylor Swift.
Actually, a female singer would fit Iron Maiden. I reckon.
I was thinking about throwing a female singer in there just for something different, but I was like, oh, that's just so much.
You know, like I think Doro would fit Iron Maiden from Warlock.
Maybe.
Sure, she could make it work. Yeah, but I was thinking about picking the Battlefield singer. I don't know if you guys ever, but there was a band called Battlefield, but they were getting a very progressive stuff. Battlefield, but she probably would have worked well in that.
Could be interesting.
I didn't pick it for my video, but I did think about picking a girl for my video, but it's very hard to imagine.
What about Lee Dorian?
I know why I didn't pick a girl because I started thinking about, well, when they do the live concert, they'd have to sing the classics, and I was like, I just cannot envision a female singer doing all the back catalog.
Oh yeah, I reckon like you know, like I think Doro would do well. I think the lead singer from Lady Beast might also be a great vocalist for Maiden.
Oh, for new material, for sure. Like recording new material, yeah, I just couldn't see the female singer doing like the old Iron Maiden song.
Especially
piano. Well, what about the girl from Venom Prison? You know, that band Venom Prison. She's sort of a hardcore.
Oh.
Just did death metal versions.
You know, like who else would I pick for?
I was gonna do like Hellion. There's also like
and Boleyn would be good. She's a great thrash singer. She sings great thrash, and Boleyn.
Like Velvet Viper is very melodic and progressive power metal. Velvet Viper and Zed Yago.
Yeah, I love Velvet Viper. I got both of their records. Great band.
Her voice would actually fit a lot of the progressive melodic stuff. But.
Yeah, so it's some good. What about Lee Dorian from Cathedral? Do you think he would fit Maiden?
Interesting.
The more modern stuff?
I'm not familiar with him.
Um,
Oh, Cathedral. Oh, like the Doomy type.
Yeah.
Oh, Cathedral. Yeah. Yeah, sort of.
The more melodic Maiden, the more sort of the slower, more sort of like the doomy sound that they have in some of their songs. I think he would fit well with the band.
might work.
Sheps from Primal Fear, he'd be a good Maiden singer as well.
Oh, Sheepers. Oh, yeah.
Sheepers.
He'd probably be a little bit too much for them, I think. Probably just a little too much. Like, he's just a little too shrieky, a little too screamy, a little too powery, a little too,
Yeah, but then they'll make Iron Maiden, sound
That'd
different.
make Iron Maiden badass again.
Yeah, they'll
crap.
make it badass. They wouldn't sound the same like every album. It sounds the same, Have sheeps in. They'll get
Bring
the
some
energy
balls back to me.
Exactly. Bring something back.
What about Joey Belladonna for Maiden?
Well, with what we're seeing with For All Kings, fucking worked out great.
Yeah, another who else? What about Lady Gaga or
Lady Gaga.
as a female singer for Maiden?
That would be interesting just to hear her do an Iron Maiden cover song, let alone a full concert or something.
Or Siley Morris?
Miley Cyrus singing for Iron
Oh.
Maiden. No. No.
Oh, she's badass, she rocks, so. But for Iron Maiden, I think you need to get a good singer, like an unknown singer that does good vocals. Get an unknown vocalist who could bring in some fresh ideas.
Well,
Right.
you don't want totally unknown because then he might have like stage fright and be scared and all this kind of shit. Like, you want a guy who kind of like knows his way around.
Or even one of these Iron Maiden cover bands. You get one of these Iron Maiden cover band singers. Who are younger, got
Yeah.
Yep.
Or I can get my cat to sing it from Iron Maiden. He's got a good voice.
Iron Maiden wouldn't just hire some young kid because the kid would have never proven himself longevity wise. Like, Iron Maiden would need proof that a singer.
There you go. The new Maiden
like
vocals.
yeah. Like Iron Maiden could hire Michael Vesera knowing that he's professional. Like, he's a professional singer. He's showing up. He can do this night after night. He can hit the high notes. Like, he's not just some kid who's going to tire out after 2 shows and end up getting drunk and fucking off. Like, he's a professional hired singer. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like, Iron Maiden isn't. Even Jewish priests, like, they're not just going to hire some like punk kid off the street. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, they did with Brooker Owens. He was an unknown.
Suppose so, but he was in Winter's Bane, and Winter's Bane had a record deal, so like he was somewhat of a professional singer.
Yeah, but that band wasn't really sort of really known until I think when he joined Priest, that Winter's Bane got that popularity.
Yeah,
That's true.
So if he didn't get signed with Priest, nobody would have known about Winter's Bane. It would have been one of those bands that got lost in the crowd, So it'd be like finding where's Wally,
That's very true. Yep.
that was definitely risky. Yeah, that was definitely risky that they just kind of just Don Ripper and That was definitely risky.
They took the chance, but they didn't. Priest didn't. They didn't release a good album. The first album was good. Demolition wasn't a turd, but it wasn't that good either.
Demolition's pretty awesome, and you go back and listen to it.
Yeah, but the first one was way better.
Not Demolition. I mean Jugulator. I meant Jugulator. Jugulator's pretty fucking awesome when you go back and listen.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Demolition it had some good songs, but they were trying to just do something different, which they shouldn't have done. Really, I should have just kept to the formula with But like they were doing industrial sort of, which was kind of big back that time. They were trying to be a bit more edgy, but no, it just didn't work for the band.
Yeah, that was a weird album.
It was a weird album, but like I said, it had some good songs on there, and I think Rob Halford does a couple of songs from each album now. When they do their live gig, he does some songs from Jugulator and Demolition live now. So he didn't want to do that album.
So
Don't know.
I think Jugulator. I think we did Jugulator.
He might have performed a song off Jugulator before, maybe. I don't know.
Because he said that he wouldn't do those albums, but I think he changed his mind. I think he wants to.
Demolition. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's such a bad album.
yeah.
I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to think back to that album. Is there anything on it I like? And the opening track's pretty good, Machine Men. One by One could have been a good song, but it's like the same riff throughout the whole entire song. It's like,
Yeah. I'm just trying to think who could be good vocals for.
oh, God, it's been a long time since I've heard that album.
Yeah, no.
It's the only Priest album I don't own either.
I used to have it, but then I got rid of it because it kind of just bored me. Compared to listen to like Painkiller, and then listen to Demolition. It's just chalk and cheese.
Pretty much.
So
Demolition's like the Volume 8 era of
Anthrax,
like the We've Come For You All Volume 8 era, where it's like it's okay, like it's all right, you know what I mean?
no, but I'm looking forward to the new Priest album actually, which comes out next year.
Wow.
Me too.
It should be pretty awesome. Like they've been the last couple albums have been pretty awesome.
Well, what I heard or read that they're going back to their more earlier style.
It is very much like a modern new wave of British heavy metal sound, almost like a very powery new wave.
Yeah, well, Judas Priest have been classified as a speed metal band. Like if you look at Metal Archives, they state Judas Priest as speed metal.
I mean, they definitely had speed metal in their music.
Yeah,
some of it.
Yeah, even their early '70s albums, you can hear the speed metal in there.
Like
like
on Sin After Sin.
Ripper, that song Ripper was a speed metal song.
Yep.
Let
Us Pray, Call for the Priest.
Yeah, Extreme Aggressor from Sin After Sin.
Yep, that's a heavy one.
The speed metal song.
Definitely Stained Glass.
Yeah.
Exciter, that's definitely a speed metal track. Like an early speed metal one.
Judas Priest. I'm looking forward, and I'm looking forward to the new KK's Priest. Hopefully that's going to be a little different to their debut. Hopefully they don't sound like Judas Priest. Hopefully they found their their niche. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think I think it'll be like a Priest album because KK, you know, he's got that
Right.
Priest in his blood, so it's going to be a Priest album.
Remember just a month or a couple months ago, the internet erupted when they announced that they were going to tour just as a one guitarist.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
That would not have worked.
No. Yeah. Everybody was saying was.
Oh yeah.
They were returning their tickets. They were boycotting the show. And then,
the internet was up in arms that day. Holy.
Yeah, and then Rob sort of changed his mind. You know, he thought, "Oh fuck, we better get our second guitarist back in, or we're not going to make
2
any
days
money."
later, they made an announcement saying, "Okay, we've changed our minds." After the internet outcry.
Yeah, because
that pretty much would have been career suicide.
yeah, that's why they did it. Because Halford, you know, was worried he wouldn't make any money. You know, he thought, "Oh fuck, we're not going to make any money. You know, if we don't go and tour. You know,
Yep.
so we better make an excuse. You know, like, oh, we fucked up. We, you know, kind of thought it might work. You know, we tried it out with rehearsals. We thought, yeah, it worked, but you know."
That would be like if freaking Iron Maiden or Halloween had one guitar player. Would not work.
No. Now that they got 3 now.
Yeah.
And freaking and then freaking Andy Sneap is sitting by the phone. He hears the phone ring. He's like, "Ching ching." He's like, "Yeah, they're calling."
So, what would you think with Priest? Do you think Priest would do well with 3 guitars? Like what Maiden was doing at Primal Fear?
That'd be huge. That'd be great.
You know, get KK Downing, Andy Sneap, and KK.
That'd be like Iron Maiden, just a huge wall of sound.
Glenn Tipton.
Yeah, Glenn Tipton, KK, and either Andy Sneap or Walkner.
Oh yeah, Richie Faulkner.
Yeah. Or four guitars. A four guitarist. I do this as a 4 guitar based band.
There you go.
You know, it's like, you know, 4, 7 members in a band. You know, that would be very interesting.
So then, right in the middle of the song, when KK starts arguing with like Glenn or something, the song won't stop because there'd still be two other guitar players still playing.
Or 3.
After KK starts an argument or something.
Or put this as a scenario: Judas Priest with Ripper Owens, Rob, the 4 guitarists, their bassist, and their 3 drummers.
Okay, so yeah, if they did the vocalist thing, like Halloween is doing the vocalist thing, like the dual vocalist thing, if Priest did that would be fucking awesome because I love Ripper. So
yeah, that's the way it should happen. That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. Awesome. If Ripper did backup vocals for Halford on tour.
because Halford can't sing those high notes anymore.
Yeah.
And
it's getting pretty rough, yeah.
And Ripper could do the high notes, you know, the high note vocals, and Rob could do the more subtle vocals.
Right. Could be interesting.
That would be cool if they did a Halloween.
Yeah, the Halloween thing. Here's something I could never imagine. Could you see maybe like King Diamond singing over Iron Maiden?
No, that wouldn't work at all. that wouldn't work at all.
King Diamond singing for Maiden? No.
his vocals, so mixed bag. His vocals, it just wouldn't fit.
Well, when I was saying that, I was thinking, some of the Merciful Fate stuff is kind of progressive. It's like long and progressive. So it's like he can make that part work.
What I was thinking just now? King Diamond singing in Ghost.
Well, yeah,
King Diamond.
that would definitely be a natural fit.
Yeah, King Diamond with Ghost would do very
Although
well.
Ghost isn't even really heavy enough. But,
No.
yeah, it'd be like King Diamond would bring the balls back to Ghost.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind Ghost. I jammed the new Ghost album like at work and things like that. It's all right.
Not a bad.
Yeah, I like Ghost too. Or King Diamond in Portrait would fit well as well.
That would be kind of interesting. Or what's that other band?
Attic.
The band
Attic. Yeah. Attic is
King Diamond. That dude sounds just like King Diamond.
Yeah, I haven't got their albums, but I've heard such good things about Attic.
I enjoy it. I mean, yeah, you could definitely tell it's more of a King Diamond tribute type of band, but I liked it because I like King Diamond.
Yeah, King Diamond's good, and we're still waiting, King, for your new album.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to be been waiting a long time already.
Seems like it, yeah. Because it's been what, 3 years now?
Maybe longer. Maybe longer.
I'm pretty sure.
I went to the tour for the promotion of the album that never came out.
Right.
Yeah, I guess what King Diamond is doing is he's trying to, trying to fine tune the album, maybe, because he's trying to make it really, something special, I guess, for the comeback. So I don't know.
I don't know what's going on because he's touring. Well, he's touring with Merciful Fate again too, and now they're playing this new song live now. I forget what it's called. That new Merciful Fate song they're playing live.
It's probably on YouTube anyway. We can check it out. New great song. Yeah, just check it out.
There's only a rough version of it online, but
yeah. I know he had heart problems and that sort of stuff. So I think he's trying to maybe pace himself, I guess, or I don't know what he's doing.
Yes, he works very, very, very slow.
Are we going to get?
It better be a good album. Better be a good album after so many years we've waited. I'd be disappointed if it was released and it was a crap album.
Years or 15 years. It's been 15 years since the last King Diamond album came out. Yeah. 15 years.
I think everybody would be pissed if it was a shit album, and we waited so long.
Then I guess Merciful Fate's working on a new album too.
Yeah, I think it's their last album, actually. I think Merciful Fate will release this album and then they'll call it quits. I think King Diamond will do his own solo stuff.
It kind of sucks because they can't. It kind of sucks. I wish they would get Michael Denner back in Merciful Fate.
Yeah, Michael Denner, yeah. And Sherman. Is Sherman still back? Is he still in the... Yeah, he's still in there.
I think Sherman's there, yeah.
Yeah, he's there.
I know Andy LaRue is still there as well, isn't he? Andy LaRue.
It's something to do with management. Why Michael Denner ain't, or why Michael Denner is not in Merciful Fate. It's something to do with the management.
Ah, okay.
Because Hank Sherman and Michael Denner still do side projects together.
Yeah, but they did that Hannah and Sherman side project with an album and an EP.
Yep.
Back a few years ago.
Pretty good EP.
Yeah, King Diamond. It's King Diamond, but with a different vocals. Very King Diamond.
Then they did Force of Evil.
Yeah, that was
That's
very King
what I
Diamond.
was thinking about. That, yes.
I got the first Force of Evil album.
Yeah. and that's the vocalist from Cage on that album.
No. Oh, on Denner Sermon.
Yeah,
The guy from
Cage.
on Force of Evil. It's the vocalist from Iron Fire.
Yeah,
I forget his name. I think it's Martin Steen.
so yeah,
Can't really
that
remember.
band never lasted long. Sherman and Denner didn't last long. It was only like a two thing project, and then they kind of.
The Force of Evil lasted longer, I think, though. Like I've been meaning to get into that Force of Evil and check them out more.
You know, I would love to see them reform the Brats as well. I'd love to see Sherman and reform the Brats.
Never heard that.
Oh, that was pre Merciful Fate.
Yep. It was more of a punk band.
More punk band with bit of metal influence in there as well.
Yep.
High Roller has the album on vinyl.
Yep. I'd like to get my hands on that.
That was pre.
The King Diamond had Black Rose before Merciful Fate.
Oh yeah.
I would love to get that on vinyl. I'd love to hear that. What that was like,
That's the only CD of his I don't have. I used to have it. I don't have it no more.
Did they ever actually officially release something, or is it's just demo material?
One album. There is one album.
Yeah, they never actually put an album out.
No, no, it was just pre-demos.
Yeah, I think that was like the late 70s, wasn't it? Ben 79 or something like that.
I think it was, yeah. I think some of it was 79, 78.
I think it's like 79, maybe early 1980.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. It's getting late here. I'm gonna grab something to eat real quickly and pretty well go to bed. But anyway, cool guys. I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, me too. Because it's 3 hours. We've been over 3 hours now, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out too. But it's been a fun stream.
Yeah, great ranking.
Really enjoyed the ranking. What to think of another band to do an album ranking for?
Yeah, so something. I think we should do a Metallica one. Nobody's done a Metallica ranking.
Nah, nobody's ever done Metallica before.
Yeah, no.
I wonder if anybody's ever done metal. I wonder if anybody's ever done Metal Church.
No, I don't think anybody has done a Metal Church ranking.
I don't remember seeing Metal Church.
I'm fairly familiar with all of the Metal Church albums.
Yeah.
Same.
Pretty much. There's a couple of the Ronnie Monroe albums I need to get.
Yeah, same here.
Like
some of them are hard to get. There's I think Light in the Wasteland. There's Generation X.
And Balance as well.
Balance?
The one with the fat chick on the cover. That cartoon.
Hanging in the Balance, but that was still my cow.
Yeah, but that album was very hard to get as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then I think there was 4 albums with Ronnie Monroe.
Yeah, 4 albums.
Yeah, pretty sure there was 4 albums.
Generation Nothing.
Generation Nothing. Yeah. A Light in the Dark. I think that's
Light in the Wasteland or Light in the Dark. Or something like that. Wasteland in the Light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there was Weight of the World.
Yeah, Weight of the World was hard to get as well. Those 5 albums are the hardest ones to get.
Yep.
All the others have been reissued on vinyl, but those 5.
Oh, another one I was going to say earlier when we were talking about the rankings was Razor. Razor would be a cool one.
Oh, yes. I have all their albums. I've got all their albums. So that'd be an easy ranking for me because I've got all their albums.
I think we should do Razor because, Razor's cool. But
Yeah, because
Lots
they're
of cool
Canadian. And Jamie knows the band personally, so he can.
No. They were actually they sell stuff like albums and CDs like directly through their Facebook page, but you can like directly through them, right?
They have a new album coming out too, so I think either this year, their new album comes out. So
Right, yeah, they were selling a bunch of stuff because they were trying to recoup money, I think, recoup up money for recording and stuff like that.
yeah, we'll have to do a Razor ranking.
That would be cool. I got to go back and listen to a lot of their albums again. I got to get more of their albums. I got Armed and Dangerous, their EP, and Shotgun Messiah. I have, or Shotgun Justice.
Shotgun Justice and Open Hostility are awesome.
Yeah, Evil Invaders.
Yeah.
Well, for being not classics. Yeah.
Lots of great albums.
That's a great album. Yeah, some cheesy songs as well. There's some comedy songs like thinking about cheese and that as well.
Oh yeah, lots of cool albums. All right, yeah.
Well, guys,
it's been
peace.
Fun.
Stay metal.
Stay metal.
Hamika and all those.
Stay metal. Subscribe to Metal Connections channel. Subscribe to Thrash or Be Thrashed. I'll subscribe to my main channel if you're new around here, and subscribe to this channel. Yeah, all right, that's it for the stream. See y'all again.
Yeah.